Chapter 978. 10,000 Beasts. Pearl. Jiang Ziji was frustrated that he didn't even want the wisdom sword. That was his most powerful treasure, and Jiang Ziji didn't want it. That was troublesome. Did he have to give him all of his treasures? But if that was the case, there was nothing he could do. After all, his life was in Yang Hongwu's hands. In order to survive, he didn't mind giving him some worldly possessions. With his cultivation, he could live without treasures. He could find more treasures, but if he lost his life, everything would be over. A thought flashed through Jiang Ziji's mind. There seemed to be something that he should be interested in. The 10,000 Beasts Pearl. That was a mysterious item. The celestial demon Martin was tamed by the 10,000 Beasts Pearl. Without the 10,000 Beasts Pearl, he wouldn't have been able to tame the celestial demon Martin as a battle pet. However, the 10,000 Beasts Pearl had a huge limitation. It could only be used once. Moreover, he didn't know what kind of energy would be used to replenish it after the first use. He had already used the 10,000 Beasts Pearl. He didn't know what he needed to do to use it again. He had the 10,000 Beasts Pearl for many years, but he didn't know. Therefore, he had never used it. He only used it after he received the Super Blood Pet Elixir from Yang Hongwu. Right now, the 10,000 Beasts Pearl was no different from an ordinary pearl. It did not have the slightest bit of power, nor did it have much of an effect. At most, it could only drive those low-level savage beasts. As long as they were slightly stronger, they wouldn't be able to control them. He hoped that Yang Hongwu would be interested in it. When he thought up to this point, he looked at Yang Hongwu and said, "I have something, and it's an extremely powerful treasure." This celestial demon mink of mine was subdued by it. Yang Hongwu's eyes lit up. Something that could tame the celestial demon Martin must be good. Yang Hongwu thought that the celestial demon Martin was tamed by the powerful force behind Jiang Ziji. He didn't expect that it was because of a treasure. It would be great if he could get his hands on such a treasure. Yang Hongwu naturally had a treasure that could control 10,000 beasts, and that was the 10,000 Beast Totem, which was also the mountain river map. The stately painting was very powerful, but it was still too difficult to subdue a ferocious beast like the celestial Martin. One could even say that it was impossible. Therefore, Yang Hongwu was very curious about the treasure that could subdue the celestial demon Martin. "Show me. If I'm satisfied, I can let you go," Yang Hongwu said bluntly. Although these words made Jiang Ziji unhappy, he did not show it. Right now, he indeed did not have the advantage. Who asked the other party to be so strong? Jiang Ziji nodded and took out something. Yang Hongwu took the item and opened it. His eyes narrowed. 10,000 Beasts Pearl, what a guy. It was a pearl with simple and unadorned characters on it. It was the 3 words 10,000 Beasts Pearl. There was a power of law on it. This power of law was very mysterious, and Yang Hongwu could not see through it. However, the energy contained in the pearl was very little, causing the power of law to be ethereal and illusory. There was no way to condense it. Yang Hongwu knew that this was probably because Jiang Ziji had used up the energy of the 10,000 Beast Pearl when subduing the celestial demon Martin. If he wanted to use the 10,000 Beast Pearl again, he would have to completely replenish the energy used up by the pearl. That way, the laws of the 10,000 Beast Pearl would be condensed again, and he would be able to use it to subdue more ferocious beasts. Not bad, this thing is not bad. Although it doesn't have much practical use, it can still help me comprehend many things, Yang Hongwu said with a nod. "It's good that you like it. Can I leave now?" Jiang Ziji heaved a sigh of relief. "No, you can't let him go." At this time, Wu Tianxuang shouted. She knew that Jiang Ziji had the celestial demon Martin in his hands, and its fighting strength was terrifying and very powerful. Now that she and Jiang Ziji had completely fallen out, Jiang Ziji would definitely not let her go in the future. If they were to meet again, there was no way she could contend against him. And Yang Hongwu's eyes sank, and he coldly looked at her and said, "Do I need you to teach me how to do things?" Wu Tianxuang was frightened by Yang Hongwu's terrifying gaze and whispered, "I didn't mean that. I mean, Jiang Ziji is very shrewd and vengeful. Letting him go like this is the same as letting a tiger return to the mountain. He will definitely take revenge. I can swear a blood oath, a heavenly blood oath, that I will never take action against you. nor will I take revenge. Jiang Ziji hated Wu Tianxuang to the bone. At this time, she still didn't give up and urged Yang Hongwu to kill him. How could he not hate her? Yang Hongwu's formation was very powerful, but without enough time to arrange the formation, his strength would be greatly reduced. After all, Yang Hongwu was just a great saint expert. If it wasn't for this strange formation, he wouldn't be so powerful. Jiang Ziji was a dignified, late heavenly emperor expert, and he had the celestial demon Martin as his battle pet. His strength was unimaginable, but he had fallen to this point and had to take out a treasure to redeem his life. This was a great humiliation for any expert. Everyone wanted to take revenge for this. Now, with Wu Tianxuang's reminder, he would discover the heavenly blood oath and not deal with Yang Hongwu. Otherwise, he was really worried that Yang Hongwu would kill him on the spot. In that case, he would have to consider the heavenly blood oath if he wanted to deal with Yang Hongwu in the future. Although he was powerful, he knew that he wouldn't be able to withstand the bombardment of the heavenly blood oath. He won't be able to stir up any waves. If you're not afraid of death, you can try. Yang Hongwu said coldly. Jiang Ziji, you can leave now. Jiang Ziji had made a heavenly blood oath, but this was dispensable to Yang Hongwu. This kind of person was indeed very insidious, but so what? In the face of absolute strength, everything was just empty talk. Although Yang Hongwu hadn't reached the Great Emperor realm, as long as he obtained the Life Great Seal, he would be able to obtain a macro world. At that time, it wouldn't be difficult for him to break through to the Great Emperor realm. As for the 9 transformation yin-yang form, it wasn't a big problem. He had reached the 7 transformation yin-yang form. In fact, the 8 transformation yin-yang form and the 9 transformation yin-yang form weren't a big problem. There were already candidates. One was Bai Yiran, the other was Ancestor with Xianming. Bai Yiran was still okay, but Ancestor with Xianming was a little difficult. After all, he was an Ancestor witch expert. His strength was very powerful, and he was constantly recovering and improving. Chapter 979. True Devil Elemental Core. Seeing Yang Hongwu let Jiang Ziji go, although Wu Tianxuang was extremely unwilling, there was nothing she could do. Yang Hongwu was her disciple, and Qiu Yingying had a good relationship with him. However, she did not have much contact with him. If it wasn't for her disciple Qiu Yingying, she would probably be dead by now. But even so, she still said what she wanted to say. Martial nephew Yang, do you know that what you're doing is equivalent to letting a tiger return to the mountain? Jiang Ziji is definitely the kind of person who will definitely take revenge. You've seized his treasure, he will definitely bear a grudge in his heart. Wu Tianxuang said. I'm not worried. What are you worried about? Yang Hongwu sneered and said. Yang Hongwu did not like people like Wu Tianxuang. She was too ambitious and selfish. In order to achieve her goal, she would do anything. She would even betray her own disciple. Compared to Jiang Ziji, she was even more detestable. If it wasn't for Qiu Yingying, she would already be a dead person. Well, come with me. Senior sister Qiu should have been waiting for a long time. After saying that, Yang Hongwu waved his hand. A power enveloped the two of them and brought them out of the formation. In the next moment, the two of them appeared in front of Qiu Yingying and Tai Shenxian. Master, are you all right? Seeing Wu Tianxuang, Qiu Yingying hurriedly went to greet her. As for Lu Xian, she did not have a good expression when she saw Wu Tianxuang. Of course, it was the same for Qiu Yingying. If it wasn't for Yang Hongwu's remarkable ability, he would have been schemed against by them. How could he have a good impression of them at this time? I'm fine. Although her injuries were not light, Wu Tianxuang did not dare to say anything. She had brought all of this upon herself. Naturally, she did not dare to say it in front of Yang Hongwu. If she angered Yang Hongwu, she would not be able to keep her life. Although she was confident that she could deal with Yang Hongwu, there was still Tai Shenxian beside her. Her injuries were not light, and her strength was not as strong as Tai Shenxian's. If she were to fight against Tai Shenxian, only death would await her. Moreover, she understood that Yang Hongwu even dared to let Jiang Ziji go, and she herself was also released. Since Yang Hongwu dared to do this, he definitely had a trump card. In other words, if he dared to do this, it proved that he was strong enough. He was not worried that, after letting them go, they would attack Yang Hongwu. Therefore, at this time, even if she was given the courage of a bear and leopard, she would not dare to make a move against Yang Hongwu. "Thank you, junior brother Yang," Qiu Yingying said to Yang Hongwu gratefully. After this incident, Qiu Yingying's feelings for her master had obviously faded a lot. However, he was still her master after all. His kindness to her was as heavy as a mountain, just like a parent. There's no need for that. All right, I still have things to deal with. Take your master and leave. Yang Hongwu waved his hand. He really did not want to see Wu Tianxuan. Junior brother, I'll come find you after I send my master back. I will definitely not go back on my promise to you. After Qiu Yingying finished speaking, she pulled Wu Tianxuan and flew away. Big brother Yang, you can't have taken a fancy to this bad woman, right? Lu Xian waited for Qiu Yingying to leave before looking at Yang Hongwu with a dissatisfied face and said, "She almost killed you. If it wasn't for your strength, who knows what would have happened to you now?" Yang Hongwu smiled slightly and said, "No, I'm just returning her a favor." Yang Hongwu did not have any romantic feelings for Qiu Yingying. What he had was a favor. After all, Qiu Yingying had given him a 10,000 years cold heart grass. That 10,000 years cold heart grass was of great help to him. It had helped him remove the aftereffects of forcefully breaking through to the great saint realm. Even though Yang Hongwu had refined the super blood pet elixir for Qiu Yingying, this favor had not been repaid. At least in Yang Hongwu's heart, this was the case. In the path of cultivation, it was best to have a clear conscience and clear thoughts in one's heart. If this was not the case, why would Yang Hongwu promise Qiu Yingying to let Wu Tianxuan go? Sister Xian, look at big brother Yang. Lu Xian pouted. Sister Xian, you don't have to blame your big brother Yang. He's not that kind of person. He naturally has his reasons for doing this. Tai Shenxian said, "Let's go to the Zhang family's altar." Now, the Zhang family had suffered heavy losses under Yang Hongwu's formation. Countless people had fallen into an illusion, and there was no way for them to come out. Some of the weaker ones had already died. Other than some of the stronger elders and grand elders, almost no one else had survived. Of course, some of the ordinary people were fine. After all, the formation that Yang Hongwu had set up was not targeted at them. It was mainly targeted at the cultivators of the Zhang family. In the depths of a nameless mountain, Zhang Yushin spat out a mouthful of blood. There was a cold light in his eyes. Damn beast. Zhang family, how dare you destroy my Zhang family? Yang Hongwu, I must kill you. I will definitely tear you into pieces. Zhang Yushin had sensed that something had happened to the Zhang family. He, who was trying to recover his strength, was shocked and was severely injured again. He did not know how long it would take for him to recover. Zhang Yushin clenched his teeth and took out an item. It was a box. There were ancient runes and restrictions on the box. These runes and restrictions were filled with golden light. However, there were some strange black runes on the box. These runes were filled with traces of demonic qi. If someone recognized it and saw it, they would realize that the runes and restrictions on the box were seals. Moreover, these seals were not ordinary seals. They were runes and restrictions that suppressed and sealed demons. Zhang Yushin opened the box. Suddenly, a terrifying demonic qi burst out from the box. In the sky, a layer of terrifying dark clouds covered the sky. Bolts of lightning circled around the dark clouds. The surroundings suddenly became lifeless. Not good. The aura of the true demon. This is the aura of the true demon. At this moment, the faces of the experts in the void divine world changed. That monstrous demonic qi appeared. This was the aura of the true demon, the aura of the Tai true demon. Of course, Tai Shenxian, who was with Yang Hongwu, also felt it. Yang Hongwu was the clearest and the strongest. This demonic qi was too terrifying. It was scarier than any other demon's aura that he had felt before. What a terrifying demonic qi. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath and said, "Could it be that the passage to the demon domain has opened and a peerless demon has appeared?" Chapter 980. Another world fusion. I don't know who got the true devil elemental core, but has appeared in the end. A great devil will appear in the void divine world. His strength is terrifying, and it won't be long before he breaks through to the invincible Great Emperor realm. Therefore, we must find him before he breaks through to the invincible Great Emperor realm and kill him. Otherwise, the Void Divine World will become a bloodbath, and it might even be destroyed, said Tai Shin. Rumble. Suddenly, the void shook, and a huge crack appeared. It was a change in a world crystal wall, and it collided with another world. Tai Shin's expression changed drastically. How is that possible? This is a collision between worlds, a sign of world fusion. Yang Hongwu also noticed the change, and his expression darkened. When ancient domain and heavenly domain started to fuse, it was the same situation. I don't know which world is fusing with the void divine world. Misfortunes never come singly. Tai Shin smiled bitterly. She didn't expect the true devil elemental core to appear first, and now there was a collision between worlds and a world fusion. This matter was serious. She hoped that the void divine world wasn't fusing with the demon domain. If it was the demon domain, then it would be troublesome. Once the void divine world and the demon domain fused, how could the people of the void divine world resist the experts of the demon domain? If they really fused, the void divine world wouldn't be able to resist, and there was a 99% chance that it would be destroyed by the demon domain. This wasn't something that Tai Shin wanted to see. The demon domain was too powerful, and its laws were strong, and there were many experts. Although the void divine world wasn't bad, compared to a great world like the demon domain, the difference wasn't small. They weren't on the same level. Let's go and see which world is fusing with it. If it's the ancient domain, then it would be best, Yang Hongwu said after thinking for a while. If it's the ancient domain, then it's good, but the probability of it fusing with the ancient domain isn't high. Tai Shin smiled bitterly. The void divine world is quite far from the ancient domain, and the demon domain is the closest, followed by the ancient domain and heavenly domain. What I'm worried about now is if the devil domain is the one clashing with the nihility divine world, that would be bad. It won't. Yang Hongwu shook his head. They flew towards the place where the realm crystal walls had collided. This is the law of the ancient desolate battlefield. Yang Hongwu sensed the power of the world's laws and was overjoyed. He said, "Senior sister, don't worry. This is not the infernal domain, but the ancient desolate battlefield." Hearing that it wasn't the demon domain, Tai Shin heaved a sigh of relief. However, after knowing that it was the ancient desolate battlefield, her expression became heavy. The ancient desolate battlefield was also very terrifying. There were many ancient evil spirits, ferocious beasts, and other ancient and powerful existences in the ancient desolate battlefield. If these ferocious fellows entered this plane, not many people would be able to stop them. At that time, these ferocious beasts would also cause a great disaster to the void divine world. Countless creatures would die under the claws of these ferocious beasts. However, compared to fusing with the dark region, this was still much better. In fact, if the void divine world merged with the ancient desolate battlefield plane, there would be both disadvantages and advantages. The advantage was that the void divine world could be upgraded to the same level as the heaven domain and devil domain, becoming a great world. Once it became a great world, there would be a lot of benefits. The laws would become stronger, the spiritual energy would become denser, and the restrictions of the laws of heaven and earth would be reduced. The cultivation speed would also become faster, and the number of heaven and earth spiritual objects would gradually increase. These were all great benefits. More importantly, the whole world could accommodate more experts. If it was a small world like the ancient domain, it wouldn't be able to accommodate invincible great emperors. However, the heaven domain and devil domain were different. They could accommodate more than one invincible great emperor. In the void divine world, it could barely accommodate one invincible great emperor. However, there was still a limit. Invincible great emperors couldn't display their fighting strength in the void divine world. I don't know how long this fusion will take. Tai Shin said, "I don't know. It's easier for us to enter the ancient desolate battlefield now." Yang Hongwu said with a smile. Now that the void divine world and the ancient desolate battlefield had merged, it was much easier to enter the ancient desolate battlefield than before. Originally, to enter the ancient desolate battlefield and return to the ancient domain from the ancient desolate battlefield, one would need to obtain power in the form of sacrifice to open a spatial passage. However, there was no need for that now. This way, it would save them a lot of trouble, and it would be easier to return to the ancient domain. Let's go. We'll enter the ancient desolate battlefield first. Yang Hongwu said. No, I'm not going. Tai Shenxian suddenly shook her head and said, Junior brother Yang, I need to stay here. The void divine world needs me. If I leave now and go to the ancient desolate battlefield with you, there will be no one to deal with the Supreme Divine Sect if something big happens. The Supreme Divine Sect has the Divine Wind, Great Emperor, and the others. There won't be any big problems. Yang Hongwu said, No, I'm the sect master. I can't leave. This is the most critical moment for the void divine world. Tai Shenxian shook her head and said, Then, why don't you come with me to look for the Life Great Seal? If you can obtain the Life Great Seal, the void divine world won't have any problems at all. Yang Hongwu said, Of course I want to see the common Life Great Seal, but I don't know if Wu Tianchuang's words are true or not. A treasure like the common Life Great Seal is not something an ordinary person can obtain. If I had the opportunity, I would have already obtained it. Junior brother Yang, you're born with great opportunities, so the common Life Great Seal should be fated with you. If you can obtain the common Life Great Seal, it would be great if you can break through your cultivation. There's a great catastrophe in the void divine world now. The true devil Yuan Dan has appeared and a great devil is about to appear. I have to deal with this matter. As for you, you have to go to the ancient domain to stop Zetian, so I can't force you to stay in the void divine world. Tai Shenxian didn't want to separate from Yang Hongwu. After all, she and Yang Hongwu had just confirmed their relationship. How could she bear to part with him? However, so many things had happened in the void divine world. If she left, she didn't know what would happen to the void divine world. If Yang Hongwu didn't return to the ancient domain, no one would be able to stop the devil. Once the ancient domain fell, how could the void divine world survive? Therefore, although the ancient domain and the void divine world didn't seem to belong to the same world, they were actually closely related. Chapter 981. Heavenly King, Senior Sister, take these things. Yang Hongwu knew that Tai Shenxian wouldn't leave, so he took out a storage ring and gave it to her. Inside the storage ring, there were some elixirs and some talismans. Thank you. Tai Shenxian didn't refuse. She accepted what Yang Hongwu gave her. After all, Yang Hongwu was her man. It was natural for her to accept his things. Even if Yang Hongwu didn't use the things he gave her, she wouldn't refuse him. Do we still need to thank each other? Yang Hongwu said, I just hope that these things will be of some help to you. I don't want to see you get hurt. I will take care of myself for you, Tai Shenxian said. I also have some things here that will be of help to you. After saying that, Tai Shenxian took out a box and gave it to Yang Hongwu. What is it? You will know when you see it. You can see it after I leave, Tai Shenxian said. Okay. After this separation, I don't know when we will meet again. You must accompany me today, Tai Shenxian said. Okay. Yang Hongwu nodded. After all, she was his woman. They were going to separate, and he didn't know when they would meet again. He should accompany her. Send me to my father's place. Lucien looked at Tai Shenxian and Yang Hongwu. She knew that she had to give them some space. She was going to leave with Yang Hongwu. Naturally, she had to accompany her father, Lu Quanshan. Okay. 2 days later, Yang Hongwu and Lucien set off on their journey. We have arrived at Heavenly King Mountain. Lucien said to Yang Hongwu. This is Heavenly King Mountain? Yang Hongwu looked at the small mountain in front of him. It was unremarkable, but it had a very domineering name and a terrifying legend. However, the mountain in front of him was very ordinary. It wasn't tall enough, nor was it majestic. It was even worse than an ordinary mountain. It was like a small hill. Yes, how is it? Are you disappointed? Lucien said with a smile. I'm a little disappointed. Yang Hongwu activated the delusion breaker eye. Since the news of the life seal was here, he had to investigate it carefully. Moreover, since the Heavenly King Mountain had such a terrifying legend, how could it be simple? It was just that no one could tell. Yang Hongwu only hoped that he could find some information after activating the Delusion Breaker Eye. Legend had it that Heavenly King Mountain had a peerless cultivator called Heavenly King Zhou. Heavenly King Zhou had fought with a true demon for 300 years. Heavenly King Zhou had killed the true demon, and Heavenly King Zhou had died of exhaustion. He had turned into a mountain, which was Heavenly King Mountain. After Heavenly King Zhou's death, the Heavenly King Mountain had been contaminated by the true demon's demonic qi. This area had become a killing ground, attracting countless evil spirits. Martial artists who were close to this place had also involuntarily entered the Heavenly King Mountain. This made the Heavenly King Mountain the most evil and terrifying place in the entire Nihility Divine Boundary. No matter who it was, once they entered this place, they would die a strange death and disappear. After an unknown number of years, the Heavenly King Mountain no longer had that terrifying evil energy. The Heavenly King Mountain had also slowly changed, and in the end, it had become an inconspicuous mountain. This was the legend of the Heavenly King Mountain. The original Heavenly King Mountain was also called the Death Mountain. This is not a mountain, but an entrance. Yang Hongwu looked at the bottom of the Heavenly King Mountain and discovered that there was a special entrance at the bottom of the mountain. This entrance was a special teleportation formation. Without the Delusion Breaker Eye, even Yang Hongwu himself would not be able to find the entrance. It was hidden very deeply. Moreover, this entrance was a special teleportation gate. The teleportation gate seemed to require a special kind of energy to open. Did you find anything? Lucien was surprised when she saw Yang Hongwu's expression. She knew that Yang Hongwu had found some clues, so she asked. Yang Hongwu nodded and said, "Yes, there is a teleportation gate in this mountain. This teleportation gate should be the real Heavenly King Mountain." Since he was such a powerful expert, even if he had fallen, he would not have just turned into a mountain. There must be a special space. Perhaps it was the inner world of Heavenly King Zhou. A peerless expert who could kill a true demon must be a Tai true god expert. Of course, there would be a powerful inner world in his body. This teleportation gate was probably the entrance to the inner world of the peerless expert. The Life Grand Seal might very well be in this world. Could the Tai true god who left behind the Life Great Seal be Heavenly King Zhou? This wasn't impossible. No matter what, the inner world of the Tai true god was indeed very tempting. The Life Great Seal was also a treasure that could move people's hearts. However, he did not know how much time it would take to enter this place. This was what Yang Hongwu was worried about. If it took too long, would he still be able to make it in time? After all, Ancient Domain was in a precarious situation. If he delayed any longer, the entire Ancient Domain would be in trouble. There's a teleportation gate. What are we waiting for? Let's go in. Lucien said happily. This was the legendary place where Heavenly King Zhou had fallen. The secret of the Heavenly King Mountain had not been solved for so many years. She did not expect that Yang Hongwu and she would discover the secret. How could Lucien not be excited? I'm a little worried. Yang Hongwu said. What are you worried about? Lucien said. I believe that you can do it. Nothing can stop you. I'm not worried about this. I'm worried that once we enter the teleportation gate, I don't know how long it will take to come out. If we are delayed, it will be troublesome. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. After all, Ancient Domain does not have that much time. Zetian will not give me time. This is a big problem. Lucien frowned. What should we do? Should we give up? Let's go. Yang Hongwu hesitated for a moment and said, If the situation is not right, we will come back. Okay. After making up his mind, Yang Hongwu prepared to enter the teleportation gate. He held 2 talismans in his hand. They were the Earth Escape talismans. The talismans turned into 2 yellow rays of light and enveloped Yang Hongwu and Lucien. In the next moment, the 2 of them turned into 2 rays of light and entered the Heavenly King Mountain. After a breath, the 2 of them appeared in front of a tall and ancient teleportation gate. There were very mysterious runes on the teleportation gate. These runes gave people a feeling of shock and a huge pressure that made it hard for them to breathe. Heavenly King. Suddenly, 2 balls of light appeared on the teleportation gate and shot out. The 2 balls of light entered Yang Hongwu's eyes. Chapter 982. One Saber Technique. I'm the king of the myriad worlds. What a domineering heavenly king, Zhou. Yang Hongwu was shocked. Unfortunately, the powerful heavenly king, Zhou, still fell in the end. That true demon, however, was also extremely powerful. The memories that Yang Hongwu had obtained were only some of the memories of the battle between heavenly King Zhou and the unparalleled true demon. However, even if it was just a few memories, it still gave Yang Hongwu great benefits. It allowed his battle experience to increase rapidly, and his understanding of battle reached an extremely powerful level. Compared to before, it could be said that he had improved by more than a level. Let's go. Yang Hongwu pulled Lu Xian'er's hand and stepped through the teleportation gate, entering it. A ray of light flashed, and Yang Hongwu and Lu Xian'er appeared in a vast and boundless space. Endless mountain ranges, towering peaks, and all sorts of powerful auras and terrifying power of laws filled the surroundings. Gusts of evil wind blew, as if it was going to blow away one's soul. Terrifying sounds constantly drilled into one's ears, like the cries of demons. What a terrifying place. Yang Hongwu quickly shielded Lu Xian'er behind him. Although Lu Xian'er's strength was not bad, in the face of such a terrible environment, if she encountered any beasts or demons, she wouldn't be able to resist at all. It's too dangerous here. Let's go back. Lu Xian'er thought for a while and said, Go back. Not now. There's no way to go back. Yang Hongwu shook his head. If it was before, it was still possible. But now that they had entered this place, it was impossible to go back immediately. The portal required energy, and only with enough energy could it be sent back. We have to kill enough beasts to obtain their cores. Only then can we activate the portal. Cores, beasts. Lu Xian'er's face paled. Doesn't that mean we have to kill beasts to leave this place? That's right. Yang Hongwu nodded. So, what we have to do now is to kill some beasts. However, the environment here is so harsh that even self-preservation is a serious problem. How are we going to kill the ferocious beasts? Lu Xian'er smiled bitterly. Enter my immortal pagoda first. Yang Hongwu thought for a while. It was time for Lu Xian'er to know some things about him. Among the women, some were in seclusion in the immortal pagoda, some were in the ancient domain. The women who were in seclusion in the immortal pagoda hadn't woken up yet. Therefore, Yang Hongwu could only send her in for a period of time. As for meeting the women and getting to know each other, it would take some time. But it wouldn't take long. To Yuji and Huxiu, they were too weak and couldn't keep up with Yang Hongwu's pace. If they were too weak, they wouldn't be able to catch up. Therefore, they cultivated with all their might in order to catch up to Yang Hongwu. As his women, they couldn't drag him down. All right. Lu Xian'er nodded and didn't refute. She knew that in such a dangerous place, she couldn't help Yang Hongwu at all. If she stayed, she would only cause trouble for Yang Hongwu. After sending Lu Xian'er into the immortal pagoda, Yang Hongwu prepared to check the surroundings. The delusion breaker eye was always activated. But even with the delusion breaker eye, he could only see a part of the place. The distance wasn't very far. Yang Hongwu frowned slightly. The power of law here was very overbearing. If it wasn't for Yang Hongwu's special cultivation technique, the consumption of magic power here would be too great. Roar! Yang Hongwu heard a loud roar when he walked a few feet. This roar was like a clap of thunder, resounding in Yang Hongwu's ears. Looking up, a huge beast appeared in front of him. This beast looked like a vicious wolf, but it was much uglier than a normal wolf. Its head was bald, without a single hair. Its sharp canine teeth were exposed, with droplets of saliva hanging on them. A pair of green eyes stared at Yang Hongwu. This vicious wolf was quite ferocious. Its violent aura was enough to make one's heart tremble. What a vicious wolf! Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. This vicious wolf was the first one he encountered in this space. It was a good opportunity to test the situation of this space and explore the strength of the beasts in this space. A battle blade appeared in his hand. This was the Grand Mist Battle Blade. The original Invincible Battle Blade became the Nine Dragons Battle Blade, and now the Grand Mist Battle Blade. Its power was getting stronger and stronger, and it was more suitable for Yang Hongwu to use. Raging Dragon breaks the sky. With a slash of the blade, a huge dragon soared into the sky. The roar of the dragon resounded throughout the sky. The huge dragon shadow ferociously rushed towards the vicious wolf. Oh, the vicious wolf let out a long howl and rushed towards the huge dragon shadow. It looked ferocious and overbearing, as if it could tear everything apart. Its sharp claws were like terrifying battle blades, tearing the space apart and clawing at the huge dragon. Rip! With a loud sound, the sharp claws collided with the dragon's body. The dragon's claws and the wolf's claws collided, and a violent shockwave erupted. The shockwave of the shockwave turned the surroundings into a mess. A small mountain was blasted apart by the shockwave, and pieces of gravel flew everywhere. Mysterious Dragons 9 Transformations. Titan Art. 9 Dragons Same Body. Open. Yang Hongwu was surprised to find that his attack couldn't hurt the vicious wolf. The strength of the vicious wolf was beyond his expectation. It was stronger than an ordinary early Great Emperor Realm expert. More importantly, its physical body was as strong as an early Great Emperor Realm expert. Although it wasn't as strong as his immortal dragon body, it wasn't too far off. Yang Hongwu's strength had skyrocketed after activating the power of might. His cultivation base and combat strength had reached the peak of the Great Sage Realm. Coupled with the Hongmeng saber and his powerful physique, he could easily kill an ordinary early or even intermediate Great Emperor Realm cultivator. 9 Dragons Slaughtering Devil Slash. This was a saber technique that Yang Hongwu had comprehended when he had made a breakthrough to the Great Saint Realm by fusing the power of the 9 Dragon Saint body and the Hongmeng battle saber. This saber technique could unleash a powerful combat strength against evil spirits. 9 huge dragons soared into the sky, and the roar of the dragons resounded throughout the sky. A violent aura shrouded the land. The aura suddenly locked on to the vicious wolf. 9 rays of light and 9 divine dragons condensed into a huge battle blade. This huge battle blade slashed towards the vicious wolf fiercely. It seemed as if the world was about to be split apart by this terrifying blade. It was as if the world was about to be split apart. This blade was so mighty and overbearing. This blade seemed to be able to split apart the world, cut through the darkness, and cut out the light. Boom! Chapter 983. Ling Clan, what a pity. This move consumed a lot of Yang Hongwu's energy. After a long time, Yang Hongwu recovered. He looked at the huge pit in front of him and sighed. 1 core was consumed. If his strength increased a little more, he would be able to freely use the 9 Dragon Slaughtering Demon Slash. Then, he would be able to keep the wolf's body and obtain the core. After all, Yang Hongwu didn't know how many beasts there were in this plane and how many cores he could obtain. There wasn't much time left. He had to obtain enough cores as soon as possible. In addition, he also needed to find the Life Great Seal. However, it wasn't easy to find clues in this vast wilderness. Of course, a treasure like the Life Great Seal would definitely appear in some special places. With the personality of the Heavenly King, if the Life Great Seal really existed, it wouldn't be placed in an ordinary place. Yang Hongwu collected his thoughts and walked forward. However, what made Yang Hongwu puzzled was that after walking for a long time, he didn't find anything special. Instead, he encountered a few wolves. All of them were killed by Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu's strength and mastery of the 9 Dragon Slaughtering Demon Slash were getting more and more powerful. There's something over there. Yang Hongwu saw a huge mountain in the distance. In this wasteland, he saw a special mountain. On top of the mountain, the spiritual energy was rich, filled with majestic energy. This energy was not evil, but a vast aura, which made people feel very comfortable. It should be related to the Heavenly King. Yang Hongwu was overjoyed and couldn't help but quicken his pace. Spirit Cloud Mountain. Yang Hongwu came to the foot of the mountain and saw a stone tablet with the words Spirit Cloud Mountain written on it. These 3 words were very charming and contained a trace of special power of law. This trace of power of law made Yang Hongwu's mind tremble. It seemed to have triggered something special, causing Yang Hongwu's realm to increase. Who dares to trespass on Lingyun Mountain? Just as Yang Hongwu stepped onto the stone tablet, a figure appeared in front of him. It was a warrior holding a long spear. He stared at Yang Hongwu and said, "It's actually an outsider." When a man saw Yang Hongwu clearly, he was astonished. Where is this place? Yang Hongwu looked at him and asked, "Who are you?" Upon hearing Yang Hongwu's words, the warrior said to Yang Hongwu, "This is Spirit Cloud Mountain. Since you're an outsider, wait here for a moment. I'll go and report." This behavior confused Yang Hongwu. If this was really the inner world of the Tai real god, that must be a big world. There was nothing wrong with people living here. However, ordinary people simply didn't know that the place they were in was just the inner world of an expert. Their understanding of the outside world was basically zero. However, this initial great saint realm warrior actually knew that he was an outsider. This surprised Yang Hongwu. This Spirit Cloud Mountain made Yang Hongwu more and more curious. Perhaps he could find information about the life seal here. After a while, the warrior appeared again. There were a few old men with white beards behind him. These old men were very strong. They had all reached the initial great emperor realm. "Young man, you're the outsider. What's your name?" The leading old man with a white beard asked. "Seniors, my name is Yang Hongwu." Yang Hongwu did not avoid answering the white-bearded elder's question. "Are you really from the outside world?" Another old man asked. "That's right." Yang Hongwu nodded. "That's great. It's finally here. Our Ling clan has waited for so many years. It's finally here. God has mercy on us." The few old men, each of them with white hair and thick beards, actually started to cry like children at this time. Yang Hongwu didn't know whether to laugh or cry when he saw this. Was there a need to be so emotional? Encountering such a situation made Yang Hongwu a little confused. He smiled bitterly and said, "Seniors, please don't cry. Can you tell me what's going on?" "Young man, there's something you don't know. Our Ling clan has been trapped in the Spirit Cloud Mountain for tens of thousands of years," said the old man. Yang Hongwu was stunned when he heard this. He was trapped on the Spirit Cloud Mountain. What he meant was that there was no way for them to leave the spiritual cloud mountain. Yang Hongwu looked around and saw that there was no array formation or restriction on the spiritual cloud mountain. How could there be no way to leave the spiritual cloud mountain? "Senior, why are you trapped in the Spirit Cloud Mountain? Can't you leave?" Yang Hongwu asked. "Our Ling clan has been cursed. There's no way to leave the Spirit Cloud Mountain unless someone breaks the curse. Otherwise, if we force our way out of the Spirit Cloud Mountain, we'll die. Over the years, countless people from our Ling clan have died because of this curse," said the old man with a bitter smile. "Curse." Yang Hongwu's eyes flashed with a strange light when he heard the curse. If it was really a curse, then it was possible. Curse techniques were very strange. Yang Hongwu knew this. He himself had been cursed before, and it wasn't easy for him to get rid of it. "What kind of curse is it?" Yang Hongwu asked. "Soul-trapping curse," said the old man. "Soul-trapping curse." Yang Hongwu was taken aback when he heard this. Yang Hongwu knew about the soul-trapping curse. This soul-trapping curse did not have much of an effect on warriors. It was only effective on spirits. How could they not have a way to leave this place? Could it be that they weren't real people, but spiritual bodies? Yang Hongwu was shocked when he thought of this. Even the delusion breaker, I couldn't see through it. These guys were too terrifying. "Senior, are you spiritual bodies?" Yang Hongwu lowered his voice and looked at them. "No, little brother, you're wrong. We're indeed human and not spiritual bodies. However, because of our special bloodline, we inherited the ancient spirit clan called the Ling clan. Although we're human, we have the ability of spiritual bodies. We can transform into spiritual bodies to fight. However, it's also because of this that we can be restricted by the soul-trapping curse," said the old man with a bitter smile. Yang Hongwu had heard the ancient spirit clan, but he had never heard of the Ling clan. "Little brother, you're an outsider. You can definitely break the curse of our clan. If you can break the curse of our clan, we'll definitely give you a satisfactory reward," said the old man. "Senior, you're too serious. If I can help you, of course I won't refuse. However, I don't have much research on curses. I'm afraid there's no way to break the curse." Yang Hongwu shook his head. Chapter 984. A familiar Oryang Hongwu smiled bitterly. "Senior, it's not that I want anything, but I'm really not familiar with curses. I don't know how to lift them. If possible, I'll help, but I don't want to lie to you. I really don't know much about curses." "No, There's no mistake. You can do it. Besides, if you can't lift the curse, we won't blame you, said the old man. Since he had already said so much, it wouldn't be good if he still refused. Yang Hongwu said, then I'll give it a try. That's great. Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, everyone was overjoyed and cheered. After Yang Hongwu walked into Lingyun Mountain, he felt a special power pass through his body. However, this power had no effect on Yang Hongwu. However, Yang Hongwu was surprised. He activated his cultivation technique and found that he could devour this power. Could it be that this special power was the power of the curse? Let's go to our clan first. The old men were overjoyed. The old man in the lead held Yang Hongwu's hand and walked away. His performance was too enthusiastic. Of course, Yang Hongwu didn't refuse. It would be great if he could find news about the life seal. If he couldn't find it, then he could only continue to search. If he still couldn't find it within a month, then he could only choose to leave. Soon, Yang Hongwu followed them to a huge village. Lingyun Mountain was beyond Yang Hongwu's expectations. He didn't expect such a huge village. The entire village had tens of thousands of people. This is our village. It's called Lingyun Village. At this time, a group of young people walked over. The girl in the lead looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Granduncle, is this the person that Brother Dashin said can help us lift the curse? This, although she wasn't as beautiful as Lucien, and the others, she was still a rare beauty. Furthermore, there was a unique spiritual energy around her that made people feel comfortable. If Lucien, was a lady from a noble family, then this girl would be a pretty girl from a humble family. She was like the little sister next door, giving off such a feeling. It made Yang Hongwu have a desire to protect her. That's right, young hero Yang. This is my granddaughter, Ling Ling. You can call her Lil Ling, Lil Ling, call Uncle Yang. The old man was the village chief of Spirit Cloud Village, Ling Peng. Of course not. He's only 1 or 2 years older than me. I don't want to call him uncle. Di Ling Yin pouted in dissatisfaction. Hearing Lil Ling, words, Ling Peng's face darkened. Lil Ling, why are you so rude? There's no need to be like this. Let's call each other our own. You can call me Big Brother Yang or my name, Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu saw Ling Peng's reaction and shook his head. That's what you said. I'll call you Big Brother Yang. Don't be angry. Lil Ling, wrinkled her nose, looking very cute. And I said it. Yang Hongwu smiled slightly. I won't be angry. Saying that, Yang Hongwu took out a jade bottle and handed it to her. There are some pills in here that will help you. Ling Ling was only the Saint Realm. At the peak of the Saint Realm, she was at a critical moment. These pills that Yang Hongwu took out were of great help to the peak of the Saint Realm. It was even more beneficial for Ling Ling. What kind of pill is this? This pill is too precious. You can't accept it. Lil Ling, quickly return it to young hero Yang. After Ling Ling opened the jade bottle, a rich spiritual aura overflowed out. The rich spiritual aura made people feel refreshed. This medicinal pill was definitely not an ordinary medicinal pill. For the people of Lingyun Village, they had never seen such a good medicinal pill. Although there were alchemists in Lingyun Village, none of them could refine medicinal pills above heaven grade. However, the medicinal pill refined by Yang Hongwu was a saint grade pill. It was of great help to the experts of Sage Realm and even Great Sage Realm. For Spirit Cloud Village, this was definitely a priceless treasure. No need, accept it. This pill is refined by me. It's not a treasure. Yang Hongwu patted Ling's shoulder and said, as long as there are enough herbs, I can refine it at any time. Big Brother Yang, you're so kind. Since Big Brother Yang is an alchemist, I won't be polite. Ling Ling said happily. Young hero Yang is also an alchemist? Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, Ling Peng was very shocked. These pills were extraordinary. The person who could refine them was at least a Saint Realm alchemist, or even an Emperor Realm alchemist. For alchemists, Saint Realm and Emperor Realm were different from Great Saint Realm and Great Emperor Realm cultivators. A Saint Realm alchemist was much more precious and had a much higher status than a Great Emperor Realm cultivator. In Spirit Cloud Village, there was only one Saint Grade alchemist, and he could only refine ordinary saint-grade pills. But the pills refined by Yang Hongwu were much more advanced than the pills refined by their saint-grade alchemist. Well, if Senior has good herbs, I can refine some pills, Yang Hongwu said with a smile. In this place, the spiritual energy was very rich and the power of law was very special. There should be some special spirit herbs. These spirit herbs were rare for Yang Hongwu. Really? Ling Peng asked. Yes, but I can't guarantee that I can refine all the pills. There are some that I can't refine, Yang Hongwu said. Of course. Ling Peng said happily. Big brother Yang, can you refine the soul-summoning pill? Ling is suddenly asked. Soul-summoning pill? What does Ling want to do with this pill? Yang Hongwu was taken aback when he heard this. This pill is very difficult to refine, and the spirit herbs required are also very rare. Big brother Yang can't? Ling was very disappointed when she heard this. It can be refined, but it's a little difficult. Moreover, I don't have the herb to refine the soul-summoning pill. Yang Hongwu said. Young hero Yang can really refine the soul-summoning pill? Ling Peng on the side also became very excited. Yang Hongwu nodded and said, I can refine it as long as I have the herbs. Great, mother can be saved, Ling said happily. Ling Peng also wiped away his tears and said, That's great. Don't worry, as long as there are herbs, I will do my best, Yang Hongwu said with a serious look on his face. Although Yang Hongwu had some doubts in his heart and wanted to ask, seeing their expressions, he was embarrassed to ask. Yang Hongwu found a familiar aura in this village, which made Yang Hongwu feel very strange. That aura seems to be the aura of a shaman. Chapter 985. Another wife and daughter Yang Hongwu followed Ling Peng, Lil Ling and the others inside. When they saw a small courtyard, the familiar aura came from this courtyard. Yang Hongwu pointed at the small courtyard and asked, Who lives here? My mother lives here. I'll bring you in now, Ling said happily. Only your mother, no one else? Yang Hongwu asked. Ling didn't have the aura of the witch race, so her mother shouldn't be from the witch race. Then, the aura of the witch race might have been left behind by someone else. No, only my mother lives here. Ling said. Brother Yang, is there a problem? No, it's fine. Your mother will be fine, Yang Hongwu said. Young hero Yang, is there a problem? Ling Peng also asked at this time. Nothing. Let's see Lil Ling's mother first. Yang Hongwu's doubts grew, but he knew that as long as Lil Ling's mother woke up, he would know. Yang Hongwu and the others pushed the door open and went in. After entering the room, a beautiful woman was lying on the bed. This woman's appearance was very familiar, and a light flashed in Yang Hongwu's mind. Xianming. This woman was very similar to Xianming. However, Yang Hongwu was sure that she wasn't Xianming, but she did have the aura of the witch race in her body. Which race member entered this side of the world? Which descendant of the witch race was this? Yang Hongwu was sure that this woman's bloodline wasn't particularly pure, but she did have the bloodline of the witch race in her body. Moreover, this bloodline was of a very high level. It's just that it hasn't been awakened yet. If her sorcerer tribe bloodline were to awaken, her powers would most likely increase by another level. Brother Yang, how is my mother? Can you wake my mother up? Yes. Yang Hongwu smiled when he heard her words. In fact, waking up Di Ling's mother isn't a difficult task. As long as the witch bloodline in her body is completely activated, the soul-summoning pill won't be able to wake her up. Really? Ling Peng was also very happy. Yes, that's great. After so many years, it's finally here. It's been hard on Lil Ling. Ling Peng sighed. You all go out first. I will treat Lil Ling's mother. Remember, no one can disturb her during the treatment. Otherwise, it will fail and her life may be in danger, Yang Hongwu exhorted. Although it wasn't difficult for Yang Hongwu to activate her bloodline, the process couldn't be disturbed. A little negligence could cost her life. After all, Yang Hongwu's bloodline was too overbearing. To save Lil Ling's mother and activate her bloodline, Yang Hongwu's Panga bloodline must be used as a primer. Yang Hongwu obtained Panga's heart, so how overbearing was his bloodline? With the body of Lil Ling's mother, it was impossible for her to bear. Therefore, Yang Hongwu must be careful and not relax. Don't worry about this. With me here, no one can come in. Ling Peng said. Big brother Yang, you must save my mother. Lil Ling looked at Yang Hongwu with expectant eyes. Those big eyes made Yang Hongwu feel very tender. After the two left, Yang Hongwu looked at the woman lying on the bed. Taking a deep breath, he stretched out his hand and made a cut to force out a drop of blood essence. This drop of blood essence turned into a red light and instantly sank into the woman's forehead. At this moment, Lil Ling, mother's body became boiling hot, as if she was about to catch fire. Yang Hongwu stretched out his hand, and a surge of magic power enveloped her, protecting her body. He controlled the drop of essence blood and fused it into her bloodline. Time passed by. After about an hour, the drop of blood essence was completely integrated into her body. This really shocked Yang Hongwu. It went too smoothly. One must know that this drop of blood essence not only contains the Panga bloodline, but also the immortal dragon body's dragon blood. According to the situation, it's easy for the witch race to integrate the Panga bloodline, but the immortal dragon body's bloodline is very dangerous. However, Yang Hongwu was baffled by how smoothly things were going. At this time, Lil Ling, mother, let out a groan and slowly opened her eyes. You're awake. Yang Hongwu breathed a sigh of relief. No matter what, it was a success. When the woman saw Yang Hongwu, her voice was very excited, and when she saw Yang Hongwu, she hugged him tightly and said, Father, it's really you. This time, Yang Hongwu was completely stunned. Father, what the hell is going on? Such a big person calling me father? It seems that she's older than me, but she called me father? Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. Moreover, looking at the woman's expression, it seems to be true. Wait a moment, let me go first. Yang Hongwu said, No, I won't. I'll leave as soon as I let you go, just like when you were young. The woman said excitedly. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. What the hell is this? In the blink of an eye, I have a daughter, and she's so old. I'm a cheap father. Let me go first. I promise I won't leave. Yang Hongwu said. Really? Her tone was like a child's. Really? Swear. I swear, okay. Yang Hongwu was helpless. It's not a good thing to be hugged like this. It would be bad if Ling Peng and the others came in and misunderstood. With no other choice, Yang Hongwu could only casually swear an oath. Listen to me first. Actually, I'm not your father. I've only just entered Lingyun village in this world, said Yang Hongwu. No. Although I was young at that time, how can I forget my own father? Lil Ling, mother, said. Your name is Yang Hongwu, and you came from the ancient region. As for me, my name is Yang Wuxuan. You gave me this name yourself. Hearing this, Yang Hongwu was completely dumbfounded. He was certain that no one in this plane knew of his name or his origins, but she had actually said it out loud. That was simply too shocking. However, there was one thing he was sure of, and that was that he had never been here before. He didn't have a daughter, and his woman couldn't possibly be here. Moreover, the woman in front of him was at least a few hundred years old. She was even older than him. How could she be his daughter? Yang Hongwu was utterly confused by the sudden change. Chapter 986. Common Life Temple, you are. Yang Wuxuan said seriously. I already said that I am not. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. You will know when you see Mother. Yang Wuxuan said, Mother has been waiting for you for a long time. Who is your mother? Yang Hongwu asked when he heard that. Yang Wuxuan didn't seem to be lying. Then, the only way to solve this mystery was to find her mother. Mother is waiting for you in the Common Life Temple. Yang Wuxuan said. Common Life Temple? Yang Hongwu's eyes suddenly lit up when he heard the words Common Life. This time, his purpose for coming here was to obtain the Great Seal of Common Life. This Temple of Common Life should be related to the Great Seal of Common Life. He didn't expect to obtain it so easily. If he hadn't come here and met Ling, he wouldn't have been able to meet Yang Wuxuan and obtain information about the Temple of Common Life. If there was no information about the Great Seal of Common Life in the Temple of Common Life, then he could only choose to leave this place and return to Ancient Domain. Yes, There is something father wants in the common life temple, Yang Wuxuan said. You? Yang Hongwu felt a little uncomfortable when he heard Yang Wuxuan call him father. He had a daughter and a granddaughter for no reason. This feeling was really a little depressing. Yang Hongwu had lived for so long that he could be a grandfather if he was on Earth. However, he wasn't prepared in this place. Otherwise, he would have thought of a way to have a child. As for what had happened to Yang Wuxuan, he would be able to find out after he went to the Common Life Divine Hall. Where is the Common Life Temple? Yang Hongwu asked. Father, you can let Ling Er bring you there. Yang Wuxuan said. All right. Yang Hongwu sighed. However, Ling Er's strength is too weak. This trip to the Common Life Temple will be very dangerous. Are you willing to let your daughter be in such danger? She's not my biological daughter. I picked her up. Yang Wuxuan shook her head. Your daughter is not married yet. Yang Hongwu. The two came out of the house. Mother, it's really you. This is great. This is really great. Ling Er was very happy to see Yang Wuxuan. Come, Lil Ling Er, let mother see how big you are now. Yang Wuxuan looked at Ling Er with a loving expression and pulled her in front of her. Thank you, big brother Yang. Di Ling Yin turned to Yang Hongwu. No need. Yang Hongwu could only smile bitterly. What was this? Lil Ling Er, you can't call him big brother Yang. You have to call him grandfather, Yang Wuxuan said. Because he's my father, and your real name is Yang Ling Ling, grandfather? When Yang Ling Ling heard this, she was a little dumbfounded. How did big brother Yang suddenly become grandpa and mother's father? Yang Ling Ling was a little dazed. Ling Peng was stunned. Ling Peng didn't have any children. When he met Yang Wuxuan and Ling Ling, he treated Ling Ling as his granddaughter and Yang Wuxuan as his daughter. He wasn't clear about the origins of his daughter and granddaughter, but that didn't stop him from feeling closer to Yang Wuxuan and Ling Ling than to his biological daughter and granddaughter. Now that he heard Yang Wuxuan's words, the savior of the Ling clan turned out to be Yang Wuxuan's father. He found it hard to believe. No, mother, you're joking, right? How could brother Yang become my grandfather? Yang Ling Ling asked after a long time. No need to be like this. Things haven't been cleared up yet. Yang Hongwu shook his head. This is my first time in this world. I'm not from this world. Speaking of this, Yang Hongwu suddenly thought of something. He thought of his own secret technique. He had reached the Yin-Yang 7th revolution, which allowed him to control time and space. Although he still couldn't travel back in time and space, it might be possible if he had the help of external forces. Could it be that Yang Wuxuan was really his daughter, a daughter he gave birth to after returning to the past? It wasn't impossible. No wonder Yang Hongwu felt that the aura in Yang Wuxuan's body was so familiar, as if they were connected by blood. What Yang Wuxuan said before was most likely true. However, even so, Yang Hongwu felt that it was too ridiculous. He had an extra daughter, and she was so old, even older than him. No matter what, he had to go to the Common Life Temple first. What's going on? Ling Peng asked. Senior, I'm not sure either. However, it's possible that Yang Wuxuan is really my daughter. Yang Hongwu said, but I need to be clear now. How is that possible? That's impossible. Young hero Yang, you're a few hundred years younger than Wu Xian. How could you be her father? Ling Peng shook his head. I understand now. You're the reincarnation of Wu Xian's father? If that's the case, then it makes sense. However, there's no need to call him that after reincarnation, right? No, Yang Hongwu said. This was the most plausible explanation for now. If he didn't know that he had the ability to control time and space, Yang Hongwu would have believed what Ling Peng said. Little Ling, accompany your grandfather to a place, Yang Wuxuan said. Mother can't leave yet, so only you can go. Once you're there, you'll be able to see your grandmother, Yang Wuxuan said gently as she stroked Yang Ling Ling's head lovingly. Grandmother, are you saying that you want me to bring Yang, big brother Yang, to my grandmother's place? Yang Ling Ling still couldn't change her mind. But grandmother's place has been sealed. I can't go in at all. I've been there a few times, but I couldn't get in. Your grandfather will have a way. Go, Yang Wuxuan said. Okay, Yang Ling Ling said. But, mother, aren't you coming with us? Why don't we go together after your injuries have healed? Yang Lingling said. Grandmother must want to see you very much. There's no hurry. I haven't finished what I promised you. I'll see if I can break the curse of the Ling clan. Yang Hongwu said as he shook his head. There's no hurry. Ling Peng shook his head and said, We've waited for so many years. A little more time doesn't matter. Since Ling Ling could see her grandmother again, how could Ling Peng bear to delay her any longer? He knew that Ling Ling had always wanted to see her grandmother. Chapter 987. In the mysterious space, a beautiful woman, after checking the situation of the Ling clan, Yang Hongwu frowned and said, It's not that there's no way to get rid of this curse, but it will take time. Can it be solved? That's great. Time was nothing to Ling Peng. As long as it could be solved, it wasn't a problem. After waiting for so many years, why would he care about a little bit of time? Yes, but I don't have much time. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. It's okay, we can wait. Ling Peng said, As long as it can be solved, it's fine. So many years have passed, we don't care anymore. As long as you can help us get rid of this curse, we can wait however long it takes. There will be a way in the Temple of Life. Yang Wuxuan said, All right, then I'll go to the Temple of Life with Lil Ling first. Yang Hongwu said, Unfortunately, we can't leave Ling Yun Mountain. Otherwise, we can send a few people to protect young hero Yang. Ling Peng said, That's not necessary. In fact, Yang Hongwu had a way to suppress their curse. As long as Yang Hongwu forced out a drop of blood essence, it would be enough for the entire Ling clan to suppress the curse. However, blood essence was blood essence after all. Once it was consumed, it wasn't easy to replenish it. Then you have to be careful. Ling Peng looked at Yang Hongwu and Lil Ling still a little worried. After all, Yang Hongwu wasn't very strong. He was only in the initial Great Saint realm. If he encountered a Great Emperor realm beast or evil spirit, he wouldn't be able to resist at all. Originally, he had advised Yang Hongwu to accompany him. After all, Yang Wuxuan was very strong. He could at least contend with the initial Great Emperor realm expert. If he encountered a Great Emperor realm beast, he wouldn't have a problem escaping even if he couldn't defeat it. However, Yang Wuxuan refused, and he had no choice. Well, don't worry, I will. Yang Hongwu waved his hand and said, Thank you, senior. 3 days later, Yang Hongwu and Yang Lingling arrived at the edge of a vast ocean. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes as he looked at the vast and turbulent sea. He looked up and saw a huge mountain floating in the sky. On top of the mountain, there was a huge palace. Big Brother Yang, that's the Common Life Temple. Yang Lingling still called Yang Hongwu Big Brother Yang Hongwu. Although her mother, Yang Wuxuan, told her that Yang Hongwu was her grandfather, she was still not used to it and was unwilling to change the way she addressed him. Yang Hongwu didn't care about this at all. To have Ling Yin, who was not much younger than him, call him grandpa, this kind of feeling is not very good. It's not comfortable at all. What a great temple of life. Yang Hongwu sighed. This mountain was filled with boundless power of law, and it wasn't an ordinary power of law. Yang Hongwu felt that there was a huge opportunity waiting for him here. The power of law in this temple turned out to be the space-time law that Yang Hongwu only knew about. I could go in the past, but since my mother's accident, I can't go in anymore. I can't find my grandmother at all. Yang Lingling said. Yang Hongwu was puzzled. According to Yang Wuxuan, her mother was in this temple of life. She was also his woman. How could his woman appear here? Yang Hongwu didn't believe this at all. But no matter what, he had to go up and take a look. Come, I'll take you in. Yang Hongwu carried Yang Lingling and flew towards the floating mountain. The closer they got, the stronger the power of law became. Yang Hongwu frowned. The power of space-time law was too terrifying. Yang Hongwu felt that his spiritual power was rapidly depleted. If this continued, it would be troublesome. Once his spiritual power was exhausted, he might even lose his life here. Lil Ling, don't resist. I'll send you into a space. Yang Hongwu had no choice. It was difficult for him to support himself, and he had to divert a part of his spiritual power to protect Yang Lingling. For Yang Hongwu, the pressure was too great. Yang Hongwu had no choice but to send Yang Lingling into the space of the Immortal Pagoda. Okay. Yang Lingling was also a sensible person. She knew that Yang Hongwu was in a difficult situation. She saw that Yang Hongwu's brows were covered with dense beads of sweat. He gritted his teeth and used a lot of spiritual power. She couldn't help but wipe his sweat with her sleeve. In the next moment, Yang Hongwu sent her into the space of the immortal pagoda. After sending Yang Lingling into the space of the immortal pagoda, Yang Hongwu breathed a sigh of relief. At this time, a terrifying force revolved around him. This force turned into a giant beast and instantly rushed in front of Yang Hongwu. It opened its mouth and swallowed Yang Hongwu, leaving Yang Hongwu no room to resist. Before he could react, Yang Hongwu was swallowed into the stomach. It's over now. This thought flashed through Yang Hongwu's mind, and he fainted. After an unknown amount of time, Yang Hongwu slowly opened his eyes and woke up. Where is this place? Yang Hongwu looked around and found that the spiritual energy here was rich. Immortal chi lingered everywhere, and mountains towered into the clouds. In the sky, cranes flew leisurely. All around, there were all kinds of rare beasts running around. On the ground, there were precious immortal herbs everywhere. Seeing this, Yang Hongwu was shocked. Was he dreaming? Or did he really come to such a special place? Could this be the legendary true God domain? Yang Hongwu knew that above the heaven domain and demon domain, there was an even higher world. It was said that when one's cultivation reached the realm of Tai true God, they would enter a bigger and wider stage. And this stage, this huge world, was called the true God domain. However, whether this was true or not, no one knew. Only those super experts who had broken through to the realm of Tai true God would know. And here, the spiritual energy was very rich. Those birds and beasts were very powerful. They seemed to be at the realm of Great Emperor. Some had even reached the realm of Invincible Great Emperor. At this time, a girl walked over. This girl had the radiance of motherhood, and her whole body was shrouded in a layer of colorful light. You're awake. That's great, the girl said. Her voice was very pleasant. Yang Hongwu had never heard such a beautiful voice. It was indescribable. Did you save me? Thank you. Where's this place? Yang Hongwu took a deep breath and operated the mind-refining heart sutra to calm himself down. He looked at the girl who was shrouded in colorful light and asked, Chapter 988. Pan and I, this is the common people God domain. The girl smiled and said, Common people God domain? Yang Hongwu was stunned when he heard that. Common people God domain. Was this the world within the seal? If that was the case, then that was great. Common people God domain, no matter what, this should have something to do with the seal. The problem now was how to get the common people's great seal and how to leave the common people's God realm. If he had no way to leave, then it would be a huge problem. You don't know about the common people God domain? Seeing Yang Hongwu like that, the girl asked curiously. Yang Hongwu nodded his head. To be honest, I don't know. I also don't know why I came here. How should I address you? After all, she had saved his life. Of course, Yang Hongwu didn't dare to offend this girl as her strength was too terrifying. Yang Hongwu had a feeling that in front of this girl, he was like an ant that could be easily killed. The gap was too huge. However, was the common people God domain really so amazing? If everyone was so strong, then wouldn't the common people's God realm be too terrifying, too horrifying? Or perhaps, this was just a small world in the legendary true God domain? No matter what the situation was, he had to slowly familiarize himself with it and understand the specific situation. I am Pan and I have another name called Ho Tuesday, Pan and I said. Pan and I, Ho Tu? Yang Hongwu was stunned when he heard that. The name Pan and I wasn't much, but the name Ho Tu shocked Yang Hongwu. Ho Tu, wasn't this one of the 12 shamans, goddess Ho Tu? She was Xuanming's sister and was said to be formed from 12 drops of Panga's essence blood. Have you heard of me before? Pan and I saw Yang Hongwu's expression and asked. I am just a little surprised. In my small world, there is someone called Ho Tuesday. She has 11 brothers and sisters. Yang Hongwu said, Is there a sister called Xianming? The 12 of them are called shamans? Pan and I said, how did you know? Could it be that you are that Hotu? When Yang Hongwu heard this, he was extremely shocked and asked, It's me and it's not. Pan and I said, You should have heard about how the 12 ancestors of sorcery came about. They were formed from Panga's 12 drops of blood essence. Yang Hongwu nodded. Yang Hongwu was shocked by her words. This woman was Hutu, but she was much stronger than Xianming. Xianming was only an invincible great sovereign at his peak. Even now, he hadn't reached the invincible great sovereign realm. This saying is actually not accurate. My name is Pan and I'm actually Pan Gu's younger sister. We both came from the true divine domain. Pan and I explained, Hutu, one of the 12 ancestral shamans, was just a clone of mine. What about the other ancestral sorcerers? Yang Hongwu was extremely shocked. What he cared about now was Xianming. As for the other 10 ancestral shamans, Yang Hongwu didn't care about them at all. It's not like what you think. They aren't clones. There's only me. Pan and I said, you have the aura of ancestral shamans and my brother. You have Panga's heart. That's right. I have Panga's heart. Yang Hongwu nodded and didn't deny it. Pan's strength was terrifying. Even if he didn't admit it, she would be able to see it. It was better to admit it directly. This way, he might be able to gain her favor. You don't have to worry. I won't do anything to you. Since you have been recognized by Panga's heart, you have also been recognized by my brother. You are his successor. I won't harm you. Pan and I said. Hearing Pan's words, Yang Hongwu heaved a sigh of relief. He thought for a while and asked, Senior, I would like to ask, is this common divine domain a part of the true divine domain? Senior, are you an expert of the true divine domain? Common people's God domain is indeed a domain of the true God domain. With your cultivation, you shouldn't have the qualifications to enter the true God domain. I'm very curious. How did you enter this place? Pan and I looked at him curiously and said. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly and said, I don't know what's going on either. Not good. There's trouble. Suddenly, Pan's expression changed. Next, Yang Hongwu felt a boundless devil chi. This devil chi was extremely terrifying, causing people's hearts to tremble. Just this devil chi alone was enough to make Yang Hongwu unable to resist at all. He couldn't even muster up the will to resist. What a terrifying demonic chi. Yang Hongwu's face turned pale with fright. This place was indeed not the nihility divine domain. It wasn't the heavenly domain or the ancient domain. This demonic chi was even stronger than the entire demon domain. It was even stronger than those terrifying alien demons. Compared to this demonic chi, those powerful demons were like babies. They couldn't be compared at all. The difference was too great. At this moment, they looked up and saw two terrifying experts fighting. It's Heavenly King Zhou. That demon is Xingla True Demon. Pan's expression changed slightly. The two experts were both Tai true gods. Their strength was extremely terrifying. They were stronger than her. Haha, Heavenly King Zhou, you've chased after me for so many years. Your strength hasn't improved at all. Xingla True Demon laughed loudly. Xingla True Demon, do you really think that's all I have? Heavenly King Zhou snorted coldly. He drew a big circle with his hands, and a huge seal appeared in the void. This seal was filled with terrifying strength. This is the Common Life Great Seal. How can you have the Common Life Great Seal? Xingla True Demon's expression changed drastically. This god realm was called the Common Life God Realm. The Common Life Great Seal was the symbol of the realm master of the Common Life God Realm. With the Common Life Great Seal, one could use the power of the entire Common Life God Realm to suppress Xingla True Demon. Damn it. So what if you have the Common Life Great Seal? You haven't even refined it. You can't unleash the power of the Common Life Great Seal. You can't kill me. Xingla True Demon roared loudly. His body turned into a terrifying beast. His face was ferocious. His gigantic body exploded with terrifying strength. True Demon Destruction. Xingla True Demon opened his mouth and spat out a ball of black demonic chi. This ball of demonic chi was extremely terrifying. Wherever it went, everything would turn into nothingness. This power was too terrifying. Too terrifying. This made Yang Hongwu shocked. In this common people's god domain, he could only create a huge crater when he attacked with all his strength. However, this true Devil Xingla's attack could actually turn everything it encountered into nothingness. One could see how terrifying and strong this power was. If it hit one's body, one would definitely die without a burial ground. Moreover, the two people in front of him were Heavenly King Zhou and Xingla True Demon. This caused Yang Hongwu to be completely dumbfounded. Motherf asterisk Kerr. Didn't the two of them die together? Chapter 989. Unexpected events. Is this just an image, or did I go back to the ancient times? Yang Hongwu was confused. He wasn't sure what was going on. However, he guessed that he had most likely returned to the ancient times. Boom! Terrifying forces kept colliding and colliding. The surroundings were in a mess. The place that was originally like a paradise on Spiritual Mountain was turned into ruins in an instant. It was a pity. Under the powerful impact, Yang Hongwu didn't dare to get close. This destructive power was too terrifying. Damn you, Heavenly King Zhou. I'll take you down with me today. Xingla True Demon saw that he couldn't gain the upper hand against Heavenly King Zhou. Instead, he was at a disadvantage. If this continued, he would die here. Not good. Back off. This beast is going to self-destruct. Heavenly King Zhou's expression changed. Although he had obtained the life seal, the time was too short. He couldn't control the entire seal and control the power of the common people domain. Therefore, although he could suppress Xingla True Demon, he couldn't seal him completely. He couldn't stop Xingla True Demon from self-destructing. Moreover, Xingla True Demon was targeting him. He had no chance to escape. He could only resist. He had long since discovered the existence of Pan and I and Yang Hongwu. Originally, he thought that Pan and I would lend him a helping hand at the critical moment, and he would be able to completely kill Xingla True Devil. However, he didn't expect that Xingla True Devil would choose to self-destruct so quickly. Go! Heavenly King Zhou waved his hand. A majestic energy exploded and turned into a huge palm, protecting Yang Hongwu and Pan and I. At this moment, a horrifying power burst forth, blasting out in all directions. Everywhere it went, everything was destroyed. Rumble. This time, the entire common people domain was blown apart. It left the true God domain and turned into a beam of light, flying towards the void. Yang Hongwu and Pan and I were in it. Heavenly King Zhou was also a person with great willpower. He pitted the common people and used his supreme magic power to protect the entire common people God domain. Otherwise, the terrifying power from Xingla True Devil self-destruction was enough to destroy the entire common people God domain. He wouldn't have been blown away like this. Yang Hongwu was extremely depressed. He couldn't withstand the impact of this terrifying power at all. Even with the protection of Heavenly King Zhou and Pan Ni's power, he still suffered a huge impact. This power caused Yang Hongwu to be in so much pain that he wanted to die. He couldn't resist it at all. Boom! Finally, Yang Hongwu could not bear the impact of this power and fainted. After an unknown amount of time, Yang Hongwu woke up, and in his arms was a peerlessly beautiful woman who could topple cities. Yang Hongwu was shocked. This was bad. He had given Pan and I to that XX. He was in big trouble. However, this was a huge benefit for Yang Hongwu. His cultivation base had broken through to the 7th level Great Sage realm unknowingly. This speed was too shocking. In an instant, his cultivation base had broken through 4 levels. This was simply unbelievable. Originally, he didn't know how long it would take for him to break through to the 7th level Great Sage realm. But this time, he had soared to the 7th level Great Sage realm in one go. But the biggest problem now was how to deal with Pan and I. If Pan and I wanted to harm him, he couldn't resist at all. Yang Hongwu had some vague memories in his mind. When Xingla True Devil self-destructed, the power of the laws directly invaded his and Pan Ni's body. Xingla True Devil's name was Xingla. Just by listening to the name, one could tell that it wasn't a good thing. Of course, the secret technique that he cultivated was also special. Yang Hongwu and Pan and I had absorbed Xingla True Devil's demonic origin. Naturally, it was like being drugged with an aphrodisiac. They couldn't control their desires at all. Therefore, the two of them had unknowingly become one. As for Yang Hongwu, because of his union with Pan and I, he had obtained great benefits, which allowed his cultivation to break through 4 levels. As for Pan and I, although she had lost her purity, she had also obtained Yang Hongwu's pure Yang energy. Yang Hongwu wasn't an ordinary man. He had the powerful Nine Dragons' sacred body, the bloodline inheritance of Pangu, and refined Panga's heart. Pan and I and Pangu were originally of the same race. However, Panga's bloodline power was higher than Pan Ni's. After the dual cultivation with Yang Hongwu, Pan Ni's bloodline power had improved. She had also obtained the nourishment of Yang Hongwu's pure Yang energy. Her strength had truly broken through and entered the grand unity, true God realm. Yang Hongwu, how do you want to die? Pan and I woke up and recalled what had happened. She felt very wronged. Although her cultivation was so strong, she had no experience in the aspect of love. Moreover, she had been taken advantage of by Yang Hongwu in a daze. How could she not feel wronged? After waking up, Pan and I put on her clothes and stood up. She looked at Yang Hongwu and said coldly, I didn't do it on purpose. Yang Hongwu didn't know how to explain. Looking at Pan Ni's murderous expression, Yang Hongwu could only smile bitterly. Although he hadn't taken the initiative, he had still taken advantage of her. I will take responsibility. Responsibility? Who wants you to take responsibility? Pan and I said angrily. Senior, you're still calling me senior. Am I very old? Pan and I was even angrier when she heard Yang Hongwu call her senior. She was angry here and angry there. Yang Hongwu also felt wronged, but he didn't dare to refute. He said, Miss Pan and I, tell me, how do you want to die? Pan and I said, can I not die? Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. This is all because of that bastard Xingla devil and Heavenly King Zhou. If it weren't for them, this wouldn't have happened. I also wouldn't have. From your tone, you're the one who took advantage of me and wronged you? Pan and I said angrily. Yang Hongwu felt wronged. This woman was really fickle, especially this powerful woman. She was even more unreasonable. However, Yang Hongwu wasn't stupid enough to reason with Pan and I. This was something only a fool would do. For a woman, especially one in anger, to reason with her was purely looking for trouble. If he argued with a powerful woman, it was no different from courting death. Yang Hongwu realized that Pan and I didn't have any killing intent towards him. This was a good thing for Yang Hongwu. As long as she didn't want to kill him, it was fine. As for the rest, it would depend on Pan Ni's mood or his own fortune. Chapter 990. In another space-time, 500 years is enough. Yang Hongwu heaved a sigh of relief. 500 years might be too short for ordinary people, but for Yang Hongwu, 500 years was really not short. He had cultivated for so many years, but it was less than 100 years. Now that his cultivation had reached the 7th level Great Sage realm, he could definitely reach the Tai True God realm in another 500 years. You're very confident. Do you think it's that easy to reach the Tai True God realm from the 7th level Great Sage realm in 500 years? Yang Hongwu's words made Pan and I unhappy again. She said, do you think you can fool me today? I don't mean that. When Yang Hongwu heard this, he was helpless to the extreme. This woman was too difficult to deal with. He had never seen such a difficult woman. It's impossible if that's your plan. I'm already pregnant with your child. If I don't see you after 500 years, I'll educate your child and then kill you. I'll let you kill your own flesh and blood. Pan and I said coldly. Yang Hongwu was shocked when he saw Pan Ni's expression. What the F***CK is going on? However, with my current situation, having a child wouldn't be an easy task. I have so many women, but I don't even have one. How could I get pregnant on the first try? Therefore, Yang Hongwu didn't believe it. However, looking at Pan Ni's eyes, it was too scary. She was definitely a person who would do what she said. I want to ask something. Yang Hongwu said. Why? Are you going back on your words? If you do, I'll kill you directly. Pan and I said coldly. I don't care if you're my brother's successor. Yang Hongwu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He said, no, that's not what I mean. I'm not going back on my words. I just want to clarify something with you. What is it? Speak. Pan and I said. Yang Hongwu paused and said, in fact, I want to confirm if I have come to ancient times or if I have seen the projections of Heavenly King Zhou and True Devil Xingla, or if I am in an illusion. What do you mean? Do you think I'm just an illusion? Pan and I said coldly, I'll tell you the truth. This was originally a part of the true God domain. This is the common people domain. Heavenly King Zhou obtained the ruler's great seal of the common people domain, which is the great seal of the common people domain. However, Heavenly King Zhou wasn't able to refine it completely. In order to deal with true Devil Xingla, he had no choice but to act forcefully. He wanted to kill true Devil Xingla. However, true Devil Xingla's strength was too strong, which resulted in the previous incident. If it weren't for Heavenly King Zhou and I protecting you, you would have already turned into nothingness. How can you still be alive? Yang Hongwu said helplessly. Listen to me first. It's like this. In my original world, Heavenly King Zhou died long ago. He belonged to the ancient times. Pan and I frowned and said, could it be because of that? Because of what? The battle between Heavenly King Zhou and true Devil Xingla that you saw was real. It wasn't an illusion, it was real. Pan and I said, the reason you can appear here is probably because you triggered the space-time laws of the Great Seal of the Common People domain, causing space-time turbulence. Can I still go back? Yang Hongwu said, unless you have a secret technique to control time and space, you won't be able to go back. Or, if you truly control the Common People's Great Seal, you can do it. However, your cultivation is too weak. Even if you can obtain the recognition of the Common People's Great Seal and become the master of the Common People's Divine Region, you won't be able to do it. Panny said, you mean that as long as I have a secret technique to control space-time, I can go back? Yang Hongwu said, wait, let me see. Suddenly, Pan and I interrupted Yang Hongwu and her expression changed. The space-time laws here have changed. This is no longer the true God domain. This is Jiuqian Shitty. That's not right. Pan and I muttered to herself. Yang Hongwu listened to her and was even more confused. This place is connected to Jiuqian Shitty. Moreover, it should be very close to the space-time you are in. Really? Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. Yes, the Common People domain was attacked by the power of Heavenly King Zhou and true Devil Xingla. It broke space-time and entered the world of nothingness. It's at the border of Jiuqian Shitty space-time. Pan and I said. Yang Hongwu was shocked. As expected of a Tai true God expert, she was simply too powerful. You mean, you can send me back? Yang Hongwu asked in surprise. I can't. I didn't cultivate the space-time laws, so I can't do it. Pan and I answered. Then what about me? I have a secret technique to control space-time. Can I open a space-time tunnel and return to my space-time? Yang Hongwu found that in this space-time, in the Common People domain, he couldn't use his original power. He couldn't even open the Immortal Pagoda or the Little Demon World. He couldn't even open his own inner world or use the Immortal Pagoda space. It was simply terrible. 9 dragons, so that's how it is. You actually have such a physique. No wonder, no wonder. Pan and I carefully looked at Yang Hongwu and found out about Yang Hongwu's special physique. Originally, with her cultivation, she should have been able to easily see through Yang Hongwu's physique. However, because of that matter with Yang Hongwu, she couldn't control her emotions, so she couldn't see through it. Now that she had calmed down, she could see through Yang Hongwu's true physique. She finally understood why her abilities had made a breakthrough and entered the realm of Tai Real God after she had merged with Yang Hongwu. If she were to cultivate by herself, she didn't know how long it would take for her to enter the realm of Tai Real God. No matter what, even if she had a great opportunity, she would still need at least 10,000 years to make a breakthrough. You do have the power to control space-time. I'm afraid this is also the reason why you can enter this space-time. Pan and I looked at Yang Hongwu and said, with this power, as long as you can obtain the recognition of the Common People's Seal, I can send you back. However, there is only one chance, and it's very dangerous. If something goes wrong, you might lose your life. Do you still want to try? Yes. Yang Hongwu said with certainty, I must go back. Even if there is only a sliver of chance, I won't give up. Only in that space-time was his own space-time, not here. Chapter 991. Meet again, since you insist, then let's give it a try. Pan and I looked at Yang Hongwu with mixed feelings. Remember, you must come and find me. Otherwise, you know the consequences. Of course, I, Yang Hongwu, am a man of my word. Yang Hongwu nodded. This is the life seal. Let's see if you can refine it and make it recognize you as its master. Pan and I took out a seal. This seal looked like the legendary Imperial Jade Seal. It looked a little like the Kong Tong Seal. However, Yang Hongwu knew that this life seal was different from the Kong Tong Seal. The life seal was the core of the entire common people's domain. It was like the core of the witch world, Panga's heart. As long as one could control the life seal, they could become the master of the entire common people's domain. However, the common people's domain was much stronger than the witch world. To completely refine and control the life seal was not an easy task. Even a super expert like Heavenly King Zhou, a Tai true god expert, couldn't completely refine and become the master of the common people's domain after obtaining the life seal for so long. Hence, it was extremely difficult to refine and control the common people's seal. Even if a Tai real god was recognized by the common people's seal, it would take a long time for him to refine it completely. Therefore, Pan and I was very clear that even if Yang Hongwu could obtain the life seal's recognition, it would be impossible for him to control it. Of course, if he could make the life seal recognize him as its master and send him back, there would be a way. Yang Hongwu looked at the life seal in Pan Ni's hand and reached out to take it. When Yang Hongwu took the life seal, it glowed. At this moment, a vast amount of information appeared in Yang Hongwu's mind. This information was very large, and it kept pouring into his mind. The will of the common people. After a while, Yang Hongwu woke up. The mortal life Grand Seal had formed a mysterious connection with him. Yang Hongwu was recognized by the mortal life Grand Seal and became its master. However, his current cultivation was still too weak, so he couldn't truly control the seal. This scene caused Pan and I to be endlessly surprised. The mortal life Grand Seal was sent here by Heavenly King Zhou when he perished together with Xingla Devil. Otherwise, it would have escaped, and no one would be able to find it unless they were fated with it. Yang Hongwu got the life Great Seal, and his cultivation showed signs of a breakthrough. Previously, because of the dual cultivation with Pan and I, he broke through 4 levels and reached the 7th level Great Sage realm directly. Now, there were signs of a breakthrough again, which was a pleasant surprise. If he could completely refine this people's Great Seal, he might be able to raise his cultivation to the Great Sage peak. In that case, it would be much easier to break through to the Great Emperor realm. I have already recognized you as my master. How can you send me back to that space-time? Yang Hongwu looked at Pan and I and asked, "You want to leave so badly?" Although Pan Ni's tone was calm, her heart was very complicated. Forget it. Don't say anymore. I know what you're thinking. However, you have to remember that if I don't see you when the time comes, you can imagine the consequences yourself. Pan and I said, and a majestic spiritual power poured into Yang Hongwu's body. Run the space-time law and find the space-time node where you are. Yang Hongwu shook violently. The 7 revolutions of yin-yang, the power to control space-time, erupted instantly. In the void, there seemed to be a long river of space-time. In the long river of space-time, there was a very familiar position. With a thought, Yang Hongwu entered the space-time node. Then, a huge suction force came. Yang Hongwu only felt dizzy for a moment before he entered a special space. It was like a huge pipe that made him sink continuously. After entering, Yang Hongwu heard Pan Ni's voice in his ear. "Be careful. Remember, don't forget what you promised me. This place is 800 years away from your space-time. After 800 years, come to the Common Life Temple to see me." After an unknown period of time, Yang Hongwu woke up. He found himself standing in front of the Common Life Temple. Looking at the huge temple in front of him, he had mixed feelings. Yang Hongwu finally understood why Yang Wuxuan said that he was her father. This was the truth. He was indeed her father. She was his and Pan Ni's child. Although only a moment had passed for Yang Hongwu, 800 years had passed for Pan and I. To a cultivator, 800 years was just an instant. However, at this moment, Yang Hongwu felt that a long time had passed. It was time to see Pan and I. He didn't know how Pan and I was doing after 800 years. Yang Hongwu flew up once again. This time, the huge Common Life Divine Hall didn't produce any terrifying hurricanes, nor did it produce any terrifying energy shockwaves. Yang Hongwu approached it. A unique energy enveloped Yang Hongwu. The energy was like a fish that had encountered water. It seemed to be cheering and shouting. This is the aura of the common life Great Seal. Yang Hongwu found that the common life Great Seal was still in the common life temple. Originally, the common life Great Seal had recognized him as its master. However, when passing through the long river of time and space, the common life Great Seal had disappeared. He didn't expect it to fall here. This saved him a lot of trouble. Pan and I'm here. Yang Hongwu shouted after entering the common life temple. You're finally here. Come in. A voice came from inside. A passage opened and Yang Hongwu walked in. After a short while, Yang Hongwu appeared in a small courtyard. The common life temple was huge. Pan's courtyard wasn't. However, the spiritual energy inside was very dense. You've seen your daughter. Pan and I said. Yang Hongwu nodded. Seeing Pan and I turn around, Yang Hongwu frowned. The Pan and I in front of him seemed to have changed. She was different from the Pan and I he had seen before. Are you really Pan and I? Yang Hongwu asked. Yes and no. I'm just a clone. My real body is already in the true God domain. My cultivation has reached the grand unity, true God realm. I can't stay in this world for long. Otherwise, I'll be suppressed by the great Tao and be punished by the great Tao. Although grand unity true gods are strong, they can't contend against the great Tao. Pan and I said. Yang Hongwu didn't expect this result. He had thought of many scenarios where he would meet Pan and I again. He didn't expect this. Chapter 992. Danger of Xianming. Something happened in the true God domain. When Yang Hongwu heard this, he knew that this wasn't a small matter. Within the true God territory, there were countless experts. Every single expert was at the level of a Tai real God. If something were to happen in the true God territory, it would mean that a terrifying enemy had appeared. It was a disaster that even Tai real God experts wouldn't be able to withstand. That's right. 300 years ago, something happened to the true God domain. Now, the true God domain is on the verge of destruction. Your current strength is still too weak. If you can't grow up quickly, you won't be able to survive in front of such a terrifying calamity. How much time do I have to prepare? Yang Hongwu didn't doubt Pan's words. Pan and I was his woman and had given birth to a daughter for him. She also had the cultivation of a Tai true God. Naturally, she wouldn't lie to him. 500 years. Pan and I said. You have at most 500 years. I've told you before that if you don't have enough strength after 500 years, you'll be destroyed along with your beloved woman. At this point, Pan's eyes flashed with a trace of sadness. I don't have much time left. In the future, you must properly take care of our daughter. If our daughter is wronged in any way, I will not let you get away with it. As she said those words, a sharp light flashed through Pan's eyes. Don't worry, I won't let her get hurt. Yang Hongwu said. That's good. I'm leaving. Tell Ling Ling to come out, Pan and I said at this moment. Okay. Yang Hongwu waved his hand. A force enveloped Yang Ling Ling and brought her out. Grandmother. Seeing Pan and I, Yang Ling Ling said with a bitter face, why didn't you want to see us for so many years? It's not that I don't want to see you, but I have no choice. You'll know these things when you're stronger. Pan and I looked at Yang Ling Ling with a loving face. It was completely different from the tone she used to talk to Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. Yang Hongwu, you can leave first. I still have some things to say to Ling Ling. Pan and I looked at Yang Hongwu and said. Yang Hongwu nodded. After leaving the courtyard, Yang Hongwu felt the aura of the common life Great Seal. Now that Yang Hongwu had obtained the common life Great Seal, he couldn't completely control the world within the seal, the common life domain. To truly control the common people God domain and open it, Yang Hongwu's strength wasn't enough. If he could break through to the Emperor realm, then he would have full confidence. However, although Yang Hongwu couldn't completely control the common life Great Seal, he could use it to cultivate. This cultivation speed was very fast. The common life Great Seal provided Yang Hongwu with abundant and high-grade spiritual energy. It was just what Yang Hongwu needed. His body's condition was special. His physique was incomparably strong. The cultivation method he cultivated was also very domineering. Every time he advanced a level, he needed a vast amount of spiritual energy to fill it. Under normal circumstances, it wasn't easy to accumulate enough spiritual energy to break through. His body was like an ocean that couldn't be filled. Every time he broke through a level, it was very difficult. However, with the common life Great Seal providing endless spiritual energy, Yang Hongwu was very happy. In just a short while, Yang Hongwu felt that his strength had increased a lot. According to this cultivation speed, it wouldn't be long before he could break through and reach the 8th level of the Great Saint Realm. This was a huge surprise for Yang Hongwu. Originally, he thought that if he wanted to break through, he would need to go back and dual cultivate with ancestor Xianming and Bairan. Now, there was a chance to break through, which was a great thing. It would be best if he could break through to the Great Emperor Realm like this. However, Yang Hongwu knew that it was impossible. Because of the limitation of his 9 dragons' divine body, it was very difficult to break through to the Great Emperor Realm. Merging with the true demon incarnation was one of the possibilities. Another was dual cultivation with Bairan and ancestor Xianming. Of course, Yang Hongwu wasn't completely confident. Common life will. Yang Hongwu received a message in his mind. This was a powerful secret technique. When it was displayed with the common life Great Seal, it was extremely powerful. It was more powerful than the demon exterminating finger, God's shocking finger, and immortal cloud strike that Yang Hongwu had cultivated. However, the amount of energy consumed was too terrifying. With Yang Hongwu's current cultivation, he could only display one attack with his spiritual power. However, this attack was enough to kill a peak Great Emperor Realm expert. One had to know that Yang Hongwu was able to achieve this without using the battle spirit possession or the profound dragon's 9 transformations to erupt with his most powerful strength. If he didn't use the battle spirit possession and the mysterious dragon's 9 transformations and the 9 dragon's divine body, Yang Hongwu wouldn't be able to kill a peak Great Emperor Realm expert. He wouldn't even be able to kill a late Great Emperor Realm expert. However, this common people's thought possessed such terrifying might. It was a pity that the one thought of life had too many limitations. Even if he activated the 9 dragons' divine body and unleashed his strongest combat power, he could only use it twice. After that, his spiritual power and dharma power would be completely drained, and he would have no combat power left. Therefore, if it wasn't under special circumstances, Yang Hongwu wouldn't dare to display such a terrifying attack like common life will. After an unknown period of time, Yang Hongwu woke up from his cultivation. At this moment, Yang Lingling came out from the courtyard. Yang Hongwu could no longer sense Pan Yi's aura. Big brother Yang. Yang Lingling looked at Yang Hongwu and threw herself into his arms. Grandmother, she's gone. She's really gone. Yang Lingling's voice sounded like she was about to cry. Her eyes were red, and after a while, her tears fell down like a string of pearls. Yang Hongwu had expected this. Pan and I had only left behind an incarnation. Now that she had completed her mission, there was naturally no need for her to exist. Yang Hongwu looked at Yang Lingling's cultivation and was envious. Yang Lingling's cultivation wasn't very strong initially. However, she had skyrocketed and entered the Great Emperor Realm. Moreover, she was a late Great Emperor Realm expert. This made Yang Hongwu speechless. He had cultivated for so many years and risked his life to reach the 7th level Great Sage Realm. However, Yang Lingling had reached the late Great Emperor Realm. How could Yang Hongwu not be depressed? It was a big problem for him to break through to the Great Emperor Realm. He didn't know how long it would take for him to break through this threshold. It's strange. Don't cry. It's not like your grandmother won't come back. She just went to the true God realm. When you break through and reach that level, you can go and find her. Yang Hongwu patted Yang Lingling's back. Chapter 993. Burning with anxiety. What? Xianming is in danger? Yang Hongwu's face sank. What's going on? With Xianming's strength, no one in ancient domain could be her match. Moreover, there was also Tian Mei. Tian Mei was also a great emperor. 2 great emperors in the ancient domain. Nobody could defeat them if they joined hands. Unless the ancient domain and the heavenly region merged together, or if Zetian joined hands, nobody could defeat them. However, Yang Hongwu knew that although Zetian's strength had increased to a terrifying level, he still didn't have enough time. He still needed to continue breaking through. More importantly, he still needed to break through Devil Domain and conquer Heavenly Domain. If Heavenly Domain and Ancient Domain merged, the experts of Heavenly Domain would be able to enter Ancient Domain. If Zetion's strength hadn't reached the level of Great Emperor, he might not be a match for the experts of Heavenly Domain. Therefore, Zetion didn't have time to deal with Xian Ming and Tian Mei. Moreover, the Tianyi Immortal Mansion wasn't that simple. Yang Hongwu knew that the Tianyi Immortal Mansion was hiding a great secret. It wasn't just a 5 extreme space and 5 extreme immortal pagoda. As for what kind of treasure it would depend on the timing. No matter what, Yang Hongwu would have to wait until he returned to Ancient Domain to figure it out. Now, Yang Hongwu was very worried when he heard Yang Lingling say that Xian Ming in Ancient Domain was in danger. Xian Ming was already his woman. If something happened to her, he wouldn't be able to tolerate it. Dragons have reverse scales. Xian Ming was one of Yang Hongwu's reverse scales. Of course, there was also Bai Iran. Although they hadn't become Yang Hongwu's women, Yang Hongwu already considered them as his fiancés. However, what made Yang Hongwu depressed was that Xian Ming didn't send him a message. Xian Ming had Yang Hongwu's communication jade talisman. The communication jade talisman made by Yang Hongwu wasn't an ordinary communication jade talisman. It could easily penetrate the space crystal wall. Although it was rare, Yang Hongwu still made a lot of them. Xian Ming himself was in danger, but he didn't ask Yang Hongwu for help. It seemed that he was really in great danger, and the opponent's strength was very terrifying. Xian Ming had no way to resist. She also knew that Yang Hongwu's strength wasn't that strong. She thought that even if she told Yang Hongwu, he wouldn't be able to do anything. On the contrary, she would implicate Yang Hongwu. She didn't want to implicate Yang Hongwu, so she didn't send him a message to ask for help. Thinking of this, Yang Hongwu was angry. This woman deserved to be taught a lesson. She actually didn't believe in his strength. As a man, if he couldn't even protect the woman he liked, his fiancée, then it would be too shameful. He didn't deserve to be a man at all. She doesn't have confidence in the man she likes, so she needs to be taught a lesson. Xiao Ling, did her grandmother say anything about the danger? Yang Hongwu asked again. As the saying goes, know thyself and know thy enemy to be victorious in every battle. Therefore, even though Yang Hongwu was very anxious, he still needed to understand the situation first. If he acted rashly, then it would be very dangerous. Yang Hongwu wouldn't fight a battle he wasn't confident in. However, if it was a special situation, then it would be a different story. Yang Hongwu wouldn't relax when it came to the matters of his women. Even if he knew that it was dangerous, Yang Hongwu still had to take action. This was a matter of principle. I don't know. Grandmother didn't say. She only told Big Brother Yang to quickly go to Ancient Domain. Otherwise, Xian Ming will be in danger. Moreover, it's a life and death crisis. Yang Ling took out an item and handed it over to Yang Hongwu. Big Brother Yang, this is what grandmother told me to give you before she left. It can help you at a critical moment. Yang Hongwu received the item. It was a talisman that contained a trace of a true spirit. Yang Hongwu naturally knew that this was equivalent to a great emperor's talisman. Once used, it could summon a clone of Pan and I to fight the enemy. However, this clone couldn't appear for long. At most, it could only appear for 30 breaths of time. Moreover, in these 30 breaths of time, the clone's strength would only be 1/10 of the original body strength. However, even 1/10 of the original body strength was very terrifying. After all, Pan Yi's original body had reached the Tai True God Realm. Even if a Tai True God Realm expert could only unleash 1/10 of her strength, it wasn't something that a great Emperor Realm expert could deal with. However, 30 breaths of time was too short. It was impossible to kill an invincible great emperor. It could only stop and injure an invincible great emperor. Let's leave this place. Yang Hongwu was burning with anxiety. He held Yang Lingling's hand and disappeared in a flash. In a few breaths of time, Yang Hongwu and Yang Lingling appeared in Lingyun Mountain, the residence of the Ling clan. Ling Peng and Yang Wuxuan felt Yang Hongwu's aura. When they saw Yang Hongwu and Yang Lingling appear, They were overjoyed. Ling Peng was especially happy. Now that Yang Hongwu had returned safely, it meant that Yang Hongwu had succeeded. He had found a way to remove the curse of the Ling clan. Young hero Yang, little Ling heir, you're back. This is great. Ling Peng immediately welcomed them with a warm tone. Senior, I'm afraid we'll have to delay the matter of the Ling clan for a while. Yang Hongwu thought for a moment. It wasn't difficult to remove the curse of the Ling clan. However, he didn't have that much time to waste. He also didn't have the mood to help the Ling clan. He wanted to return to the ancient domain immediately and solve the crisis of Xianming. After all, compared to the safety of his future woman, the Ling clan wasn't important. Although his daughter, Yang Wuxuan, was indebted to the Ling clan, this kindness could be repaid in the future. What happened? Young hero Yang, did you not find a solution? Ling Peng's expression changed. If Yang Hongwu didn't find a way to remove the curse of the Ling clan, it would be a huge blow to the Ling clan. The Ling clan had waited for so many years. Finally, there was hope. However, if Yang Hongwu told him that there was no way to remove the curse of the Ling clan, how could he not feel despair? No, there is a way. However, I have something important to do now. I have to return to the ancient domain to save people. Of course, there is another way. That is, you can enter my inner world. After I've dealt with the matters there, I will remove the curse. However, you'll have to leave this place. Yang Hongwu said. Chapter 994. Unexpected, that's good. Yang Hongwu heaved a sigh of relief. He could send the Ling clan and even the entire Lingyun mountain into his inner world, which was the current Little Devil world. However, after Yang Hongwu's cultivation had made a breakthrough, the speed of fusion between the Witch world and the Little Devil world had obviously sped up. Therefore, Yang Hongwu would send them into the Witch world instead of the real Little Devil world. If they were sent into the Little Devil world, they wouldn't be able to survive at all with their cultivation. Although the Little Devil world was only a small world, it was very special. Other than the evil demon clan, it was extremely difficult for other clans to survive in the Little Devil world. For experts like Ling Peng, it was naturally not a problem. However, for those who were weak in the Ling clan, it was a different story. They weren't strong enough to resist the power of the evil demon in the Little Devil world. Once they entered the Little Devil world, they would most likely be eroded by the evil chi and degenerate into evil demons. However, the Witch world didn't have such restrictions. Although the Witch world was very desolate and barren, it was much more suitable than the Little Devil world. Now, the worlds that Yang Hongwu controlled were gradually fusing. Originally, the Little Devil world was the main world, but now that it had joined the common people's divine realm, it became the main world. After all, the common people's divine realm was a high-level world, a high-level plane, while the Little Devil world was a very low-level plane. Even the Witch world, Wuji space, and so on were just ordinary low-level worlds. They were inferior to the ancient region. Of course, compared to the ancient region, the Nihility divine realm was not bad. There was also the inner world of the Great Saint Pavilion in the Nihility divine realm. If Yang Hongwu could fuse these worlds, his strength would greatly increase. It might even be possible for him to break through to the Great Saint realm. However, Yang Hongwu's current strength was still too weak. If he wanted to fuse these worlds and truly create a big world, the difficulty would not be small. It was even more difficult than fusing with the incarnation of the true demon, which was the Taishang demon. I'll go gather my clansmen now. Ling Peng was very enthusiastic. Since Yang Hongwu was in a hurry to save people, he wanted to hurry. Moreover, it was the Ling clan's dream to be able to leave Spirit Cloud Mountain. Now that they had the chance, they were very happy. Wait. Yang Hongwu stopped Ling Peng and said, Senior, let those who are willing to leave prepare. As for those who are unwilling to leave, let them do as they wish. After all, not everyone wanted to leave this place. Aside from the fact that they couldn't leave or go out, everything else was good. There was no danger, and the spirit chi was rich. It was a treasure land for cultivation. In fact, compared to other places outside, the Spirit Cloud Mountain was much better. All right. Ling Peng was stunned when he heard this, but he quickly recovered and nodded. He knew that Yang Hongwu was telling the truth. In fact, Although there were many people in the Ling clan who wanted to leave this place and go to the wider world outside, there were also many stubborn conservatives who were unwilling to leave Spirit Cloud Mountain at all. They didn't want to make progress and were only willing to spend the rest of their lives here. Of course, those who had such thoughts were mostly those with weak aptitudes and cultivations. Moreover, they were all older people. If they were younger and had weak cultivations, the outside world would be a huge danger to them. If they were not careful, they could die without a burial ground. Time passed quickly. In a short while, the front of Yanghongwu was densely packed with people. Ling Peng also walked over, looking a little disappointed. Everyone is here, he had already explained, but most of the people here were from the younger generation. Some of the powerful elders didn't come, which made him very unhappy. The people here didn't even make up half of the Ling clan's people. This made Ling Peng very depressed. Among them, there were people who didn't want to go out and only wanted to stay in this comfortable place to enjoy themselves. Not only were there older warriors, but there were also quite a number of young warriors. Although the curse of the Ling clan prevented them from leaving, some powerful dire beasts were also unable to enter the Spirit Cloud Mountain. Therefore, the Spirit Cloud Mountain was very safe. After so many years of living a comfortable life, many of them had already lost their fighting spirit, lost their martialist hearts, and lost the mindset of being a cultivator that defied the heavens. Those who had lost the heart of a warrior and the heart of a martial artist would find it difficult to make any progress in their cultivation in the future. Are all of you here voluntarily? Yang Hongwu looked at the crowd and said, "There's one thing that I have to make clear. You have to think carefully. Although I can send you into another world, I can't be sure that you won't be in danger when I send you in. If anything happens, you can't blame me." After Yang Hongwu said this, many people hesitated again. Danger to their lives? There was actually danger? Wasn't the curse 100% lifted? I'll withdraw. I'll withdraw too. Me too. I don't want to risk my life. With the first person taking the lead, more people chose to give up this opportunity. Ling Peng looked at the increasing number of people who were withdrawing, and his face was extremely gloomy. He didn't expect things to develop like this. He was extremely depressed. He didn't expect that after so many years of peace, many warriors and experts of the Ling clan had lost their courage to face death. If these people were to encounter a great battle, none of them would be able to survive. Moreover, if this continued, the entire Ling clan would be finished if they were to encounter a true life and death crisis. While Ling Peng's heart was bleeding, he also rejoiced. He discovered that it was still all right. At least there were still so many hot-blooded and unafraid sons. If this were to happen for another few thousand years, or even 10,000 years, there would probably be no warriors in the entire Ling clan who would dare face death head-on. This was the sorrow of the entire Ling clan. Have you all thought it through? Yang Hongwu looked at the people who hadn't left and said, "It's not too late to back out now. Later, you won't have any leeway to back out. We've thought it through. This Spirit Cloud Mountain is too small. Even if I die, I want to see the outside world and see the experts out there." A young man's eyes flickered with determination, and his fighting spirit was surging. The others seemed to be affected by him, and their fighting spirit was overflowing. "All right then, let's go." Yang Hongwu waved his hand, and a powerful force enveloped everyone. After a breath, they found themselves in a strange world. This was no longer the Spirit Cloud Mountain that they were familiar with. After they entered this space, they discovered that the restriction of the curse had disappeared. Their cultivations had all increased tremendously. Chapter 995. Rescuing Xianming. I didn't expect that my cultivation base would increase by so much. My understanding of the power of law has also become more complete. Yang Hongwu was pleasantly surprised. The stronger the world, the more complete the power of law was, and the stronger his cultivation base would be. More importantly, Yang Hongwu realized that the fusion of the worlds had become easier. Could it be that I have to place more living beings in order to speed up the fusion of the worlds? Gosh, my cultivation base has broken through. There's a powerful energy that has improved my physique. Those who had entered Yang Hongwu's world had their cultivation base increased tremendously. The bottlenecks that they had faced before had loosened up. Those who had reached their limits had all broken through. Their physiques had all been improved by the power of the world, making them even stronger. The curse in our bodies has disappeared. Great. This is great. Ling Peng and the others were all wild with joy. Ancient Domain. An ancient palace stood at the peak of Ancient Domain. It was a majestic palace that had an incomparably majestic aura, causing one to be in awe of it. Within the palace, there was a white-robed man who looked like an unparalleled god of war. His body was emitting a powerful aura that was incomparably noble. Xian Ming, are you still not giving up? Even if that Yang Hongwu were to appear, he wouldn't be a match for me. If you were to become my woman, you would obtain unparalleled power. My strength has already reached the pinnacle. In the Heaven Domain, I am an invincible emperor. Once Ancient Domain and Heaven Domain fuse, no one would be a match for me. I would be the ruler of the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Jin Wutao looked at Xian Ming and said, Bah, you're dreaming. Xian Ming said coldly, You're just Zi Tian's lackey. Zi Tian, one day I will kill him. Jin Wutao's face turned ashen when he heard this. He was an invincible great emperor of the heavenly domain and was extremely powerful. However, when he came to the ancient domain, Zi Tian had planted a devil seed in him, making him unable to resist Zi Tian. This made him extremely angry, but there was nothing he could do. Although Zi Tian was not as strong as him, he could display his full strength in this world. Moreover, his devil technique was too terrifying. It could actually restrain his techniques. Because in a moment of carelessness, Zi Tian had planted a devil seed in him, forcing him to submit to Zi Tian. However, it was also because of Zi Tian that he had imprisoned Xian Ming. Otherwise, he would not have been able to capture Xian Ming. He had always wanted to obtain Xian Ming, but Xian Ming had never given him a chance. Even though he was an invincible great emperor, a supreme existence in Heaven region, Xian Ming had never given a chance. However, when Heaven region and Ancient Domain merged, he received news that Xian Ming was very close to a human brat, a saint realm cultivator. This made him extremely angry. He wished he could tear that human into pieces. You want to kill Zi Tian? Xian Ming's eyes revealed a mocking expression. You don't even dare to breathe loudly in front of him, yet you still dare to talk nonsense here. You are truly shameless. You, Xian Ming, I will not argue with you. Just wait and see. This day will not be long. Once Ancient Domain and Heavenly Domain merge completely, Zi Tian will die. Jin Wutao said, and Yang Hongwu, he will also die in my hands. Just wait and see. I am the only man who is worthy of you. Don't embarrass yourself. Yang Hongwu's strength is not something you can imagine. Even Zi Tian is very afraid of him. He was defeated by you. You can't even deal with Zi Tian, and you actually said that you can deal with Yang Hongwu. You are really a fool who doesn't know how high the sky is. Xian Ming had full confidence in Yang Hongwu. His strength would definitely increase tremendously after he went to the ancient desolate battlefield. Moreover, she had discovered that her strength had increased tremendously. This increase came from the sorcerer dimension. The sorcerer dimension's dharma had been enhanced. As a member of the sorcerer tribe, her strength had increased along with the sorcerer dimension's improvement. Her understanding of the dharma had also deepened. Therefore, she knew that it must be because of Yang Hongwu. Rumble. At this moment, there was a loud explosion and a monstrous aura appeared. A huge crack appeared in the void. A void passage appeared in the crack. This was the passage from the ancient barren battlefield to ancient domain. How can this be? How can there be a passage to the ancient barren battlefield here? Jin Wutao's face changed when he saw this. This was his palace, and it was surrounded by powerful spell formations and restrictive spells. The crystalline spatial walls were very stable, and if anyone wanted to open a spatial tunnel here, they would need his permission. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to open the crystalline spatial walls to open a teleportation tunnel. The so-called Ancient Desolate Battlefield was also known as the Ancient Desolate Battlefield. It was a terrifying battlefield from ancient times. Once one entered the battlefield, even the strength of an invincible great emperor would be suppressed. It was very difficult to open a passage to the ancient barren battlefield, and it would consume a lot of energy. Even in Heaven region, not many people were willing to spend a lot of energy to open a passage to the ancient barren battlefield. Of course, for those big forces, every once in a while, They would spend a lot of energy to open a passage to the ancient barren battlefield so that the young geniuses could enter to gain experience. Back then, he had entered the ancient barren battlefield and obtained the opportunity to become an invincible great emperor. If he had not entered the ancient barren battlefield, his strength would still be in the great sage realm. He might not even be able to enter the great emperor realm. However, even though the ancient barren battlefield had given him a great opportunity, he was not willing to enter it again. After all, the ancient barren battlefield was too terrifying. Even now, when he thought about it, his heart still palpitated. It's his aura. Xianming felt Yang Hongwu's aura the moment the space crystal wall appeared. He was overjoyed. Yang Hongwu had finally returned. He could feel that Yang Hongwu's strength had made a huge breakthrough. Xianming. Yang Hongwu appeared beside Xianming in a flash and released the shackles on him. It was very fast, and it only took a breath. I'm sorry that I'm late. You've suffered. Yang Hongwu looked at Xianming and said in a self-reproachful tone, No, you're not late. You're just in time. Xianming said, Damn it. Seeing that Yang Hongwu and Xianming were so close, Jin Wutao was furious. Kid, let go of Xianming and kill yourself. Yang Hongwu looked at Jin Wutao. This guy was very powerful, and he had the aura of an invincible great emperor. If it was not for the suppression of the worldly rules, it would be difficult for Yang Hongwu to deal with him. This was a powerful enemy. However, since he dared to lay his hands on his woman, he deserved to die. Chapter 996. Fight! I want you to die without a complete corpse. Jin Wutao was furious. Who was he? In Heaven Domain, he was an invincible great emperor, a lofty existence. In Ancient Domain, if he wasn't careless and fell into Zetion's trap, he wouldn't have been restricted by Zetion. Now, a mere great sage realm expert in front of him was so arrogant and didn't put him in his eyes at all. How could he not be furious? What made him even more jealous was that Xianming was so intimate with him. She didn't put him in her eyes at all. And Xianming, you bitch. I'll kill this gigolo first and then deal with you. Saying that, Jin Wutao held a golden halberd in his hand. Terrifying magic power condensed on the halberd. The powerful and violent aura seemed to be able to destroy everything, as if it wanted to turn the entire world into nothingness. Jin Wutao's strength was indeed not bad. Although he was restricted by the power of the heavenly Tao law, he was still very frightening. One should know that he was an invincible great emperor. Although he was restricted, he still had the fighting strength of a late great emperor. Now, the restriction of Ancient Domain was slowly changing. The heavenly Tao of heaven and earth was becoming stronger and stronger. Therefore, the restriction of Ancient Domain was getting smaller and smaller. Some experts who were originally restricted and couldn't display their strongest fighting strength were now able to display their full strength. As for the experts who came down from the heaven realm, they were like super experts like Jin Wutao. Their fighting strength was even more terrifying and powerful. The experts in Ancient Domain couldn't resist them at all. However, Zetion was different. Zetion's strength was improving faster. Moreover, he wasn't restricted by the heavenly Tao of heaven. He was now a peak great emperor, only a step away from the invincible great emperor realm. His fighting strength had reached the pinnacle. In Ancient Domain, even the real invincible great emperors might not be his match. Jin Wutao was one of them. Zetion had taken a fancy to Jin Wutao's strength, as well as his status and power in the Heaven Domain. Thus, he had subdued and controlled Jin Wutao instead of devouring him to raise his own cultivation. To Zetion, devouring Jin Wutao would improve his cultivation by leaps and bounds. It was even possible for him to break through to the invincible martial monarch realm. However, he did not do so because he wanted to use Jin Wutao to control the Heaven Domain and search for the secret palace of the immemorial true demon. The Heavenly Domain and the Devil's Domain used to be a macro world. However, due to the existence of two super experts, the Heavenly Domain and the Devil's Domain were separated, forming the Heavenly Domain and the Devil's Domain. In these two worlds, there were secret mansions left behind by the experts of the Tai True God and Tai True Demon Realm. These secret palaces were very terrifying, but they were also very secretive. Ordinary people simply did not know of the existence of these secret palaces. Only those experts and those ancient families knew of some information about these secret palaces. Jin Wutao was one of them. Jin Wutao was an expert of the Jin family in the heavenly domain. He was the future head of the Jin family. This time, he had come down to the ancient region for two reasons. One was for the mysterious underworld, and the other was to occupy a piece of land in the ancient region. Not only Jin Wutao, when ancient domain and heavenly domain began to merge, many experts had arrived. There were many major forces in the heavenly domain. These people were all super experts and monstrous geniuses. The weakest among them was a late martial monarch realm expert. Moreover, these guys had many treasures and powerful trump cards. Their combat strength was very terrifying. For the experts of heavenly domain, if ancient domain did not merge with heavenly domain, it was just a low-level plane. They would not care about it at all. However, once it merged with heavenly domain, it would be different. Ancient domain would become a new territory, a huge treasure, a huge cake waiting for them to divide. Whoever arrived first, whoever had the biggest fist would get the bigger and better cake. Moreover, there was another reason why they came down to ancient domain so quickly. The most important reason was that once ancient domain began to merge with heavenly domain, it would be easier for them to comprehend the power of heavenly domain. In this way, it would be easier for them to increase their strength. Some people's strength had already reached a bottleneck, or it could be said that they would not have the opportunity to increase their strength again in their lifetime. However, the merging of ancient domain and heavenly domain was the merging of two planes. During the process of merging, it would be easier for them to comprehend the power of heavenly domain. In this way, they would have the opportunity to make a breakthrough again. If they were lucky enough, they would be able to devour and refine some of the power of heavenly domain's origin laws. In that case, their strength would be able to make a huge breakthrough again. That was the reason why all the major powers were so eager to enter ancient domain. They all thought that ancient domain was too weak, as if it was just food in their mouth. However, they did not expect that there would be such a terrifying existence in ancient domain, such a powerful devil, and that devil was Ztion. Ztion's strength had already exceeded their expectations. They were caught unprepared from the beginning. Some unlucky ones were directly killed and devoured by Ztion. Some were directly implanted with a devil seed by Ztion and became his slaves. Of course, the remaining people could only flee in all directions. However, they were also arrogant people. They had encountered such a huge problem, so they didn't want to go back with their tails between their legs. They returned to the celestial region. Besides, it was only a matter of time before the celestial region and the ancient region merged. Therefore, those people who were running away already hated Ztion to the bone. Of course, there were also some smart people who received news about Yang Hongwu. They knew that although Yang Hongwu's cultivation was not strong, he was Ztion's nemesis. Therefore, they were looking everywhere for Yang Hongwu, wanting to cooperate with Yang Hongwu. Jin Wutao was one of those people. However, when he found out that the woman he liked, Xian Ming, was actually so intimate with Yang Hongwu, it made him very angry and jealous. In the past, he had pursued Xian Ming for so many years. He had used countless methods, but he did not succeed. He had never seen Xian Ming have any good feelings for him. However, Xian Ming was so good to another man. How could he accept it? And now, Yang Hongwu was being so intimate with Xian Ming in front of him. It made him go completely crazy. He only had one thought now, and that was to kill Yang Hongwu, that little bastard. Then, he would deal with Xian Ming, that bitch. Therefore, he used his full strength from the beginning. This move was his strongest trump card. It was extremely powerful and filled with destructive qi. Chapter 997. The Might of Life. Yang Hongwu looked at Jin Wutao's attack with a solemn expression. This move was indeed powerful. Of course, Yang Hongwu had ways to resist it. However, Yang Hongwu did not intend to face this powerful attack head-on. That was something only a fool would do. Although his cultivation base had now risen to the realm of great sage mastery, there was no way he could withstand it if he did not cast the Nine Dragons' sacred body or his strongest attack, one thought of the common people. If he used the thought of life, it would consume a lot of energy. He might not be able to kill Jin Wutao in one blow, unless it was a sneak attack. Moreover, for Yang Hongwu, his biggest enemy was not Jin Wutao, but Zetian. Who knew if Zetian was hiding in the dark? With Zetian's current strength, he should have known that Yang Hongwu was coming. However, Zetian was very careful. After all, he was defeated by Yang Hongwu every time. After so many defeats, he was somewhat traumatized. He was very afraid of Yang Hongwu. Before he completely understood Yang Hongwu's trump card, Zetian would never act rashly. After all, it was too dangerous. Yang Hongwu originally disappeared in ancient domain. Now he appeared again. One of the reasons was Xianming. Another reason was probably that his strength had also improved tremendously. Zetian and Yang Hongwu knew that they were natural enemies. They were destined to be enemies. Zetian's strength had improved so rapidly and was so powerful. Did Yang Hongwu not improve as well? If it wasn't for this, Zetian wouldn't be able to suppress him every single time. 7 revolutions of yin-yang, mastery of space-time, time deceleration. 6 revolutions of yin-yang, void yin-yang shuttle. Yang Hongwu was unwilling to fight head-on, but there was no problem in avoiding this powerful attack. Therefore, Yang Hongwu hugged Xianming and cast the yin-yang secret technique to decelerate time. Then, he cast the void travel secret technique to escape. Boom! With a loud bang, Jin Wutao's powerful attack landed heavily on Yang Hongwu's original spot, erupting with a terrifying destructive power. The space was instantly pierced and a huge crack appeared. The crack exploded and turned into a huge black hole. The entire space was swallowed by this terrifying black hole. There was a terrifying spatial turbulence in it, destroying all the living beings in the vicinity. The entire world began to tremble. That huge palace turned into nothingness in the face of this tyrannical power. This palace was meticulously built by Jin Wutao. It was his residence and also one of his most beloved things. But this time, Jin Wutao actually destroyed his own palace. It could be seen how angry he was. Die, die, die. Move after move, Jin Wutao completely fell into a berserk state, wanting to destroy everything. However, it was all in vain. Yang Hongwu had already fled 1,000 miles away. Moreover, at that moment, Yang Hongwu had already removed the shackles on Xianming. Xianming, where's Tian Mei? He only saw Xianming alone. Tian Mei was originally with Xianming in the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. However, Xianming was captured by Jin Wutao. Did something happen to Tian Mei? Leader Tianyi, Tengaku, and the others were still in the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. Although Tengaku's strength wasn't as strong as Leader Tianyi and Tian Mei, Tengaku's strength couldn't be underestimated. If the Tianyi Immortal Mansion was completely unleashed, Tengaku's strength would be extremely terrifying and powerful. Even an invincible great emperor wouldn't be able to deal with the Tianyi Immortal Mansion easily. Although Jin Wutao was an invincible great emperor, he couldn't unleash his full strength in ancient domain. Did something happen to the Tianyi Immortal Mansion? No, she's fine. Nothing happened to the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. Xianming smiled bitterly. I was careless and listened to him. That's why I was captured by Jin Wutao. In fact, with Xianming's cultivation, although she couldn't defeat Jin Wutao in ancient domain, she still had the chance to escape. The reason why she was captured was because Jin Wutao said something that even Xianming couldn't refuse. That was exactly what she wanted. That bastard is here again. Yang Hongwu was about to ask when a powerful aura locked onto the two of them. There was also a wisp of ethereal demonic qi, which made Yang Hongwu frown. It was the aura of Zetian. Zetian had indeed appeared. It was very troublesome now. Jin Wutao was already very difficult to deal with. Now, another Zetian had appeared. That bastard strength was really terrifying now. If it wasn't for Yang Hongwu's attentiveness and Zetian's carelessness, Yang Hongwu wouldn't have noticed that Zetian had arrived. Yang Hongwu's eyes shot out a cold light. Since that was the case, he had to kill the chicken to scare the monkey. And Jin Wutao was that chicken now. Who asked this bastard to be so stubborn? Zetian was just a doppelganger hiding in the space to investigate Yang Hongwu's background. Jin Wutao's strength was very strong. He was an invincible great sovereign. Although he couldn't display his full strength, he was still a first-class expert in ancient domain. There were very few people who could fight against him. Zetian wanted to test Yang Hongwu's current situation. He didn't believe that Jin Wutao could deal with Yang Hongwu. Of course, it would be great if Jin Wutao could really kill Yang Hongwu. However, his plan was doomed to fail. In fact, Yang Hongwu was worried that Zetian would take action. If Zetian and Jin Wutao joined hands, it would be very troublesome this time. Yang Hongwu, put me down. I will deal with him. Xian Ming said, I have recovered 70% of my cultivation. Although I haven't fully recovered, it won't be easy for Jin Wutao to deal with me. Yang Hongwu shook his head and said, no need. Jin Wutao is so stubborn. If I don't teach him a lesson, he won't know the immensity of heaven and earth. You? All right. Then you have to be careful. Jin Wutao's strength is not limited to this. He is very strong. Seeing Yang Hongwu's confident look, Xian Ming didn't say anything more. Yang Hongwu was a man. Every man had his own dignity. Especially in front of a woman, he wouldn't lose face. This was a man's pride. Xian Ming was very clear about this. Yang Hongwu was this kind of man. He would never hide behind a woman unless it was a last resort. Chapter 998. Forced retreat. What kind of power is this? Jin Wutao's face changed when he sensed the terrifying power of will. This power was terrifying, so terrifying that it made his soul tremble. Others might not be able to feel it, but Jin Wutao could. This was because Yang Hongwu was targeting him. Jin Wutao, if you retreat now, I can spare your life. Yang Hongwu said loudly. What arrogance! Jin Wutao was furious. You must die today. Jin Wutao, a dignified great emperor, was actually threatened by a mere great saint realm cultivator. In addition, the woman he liked was so intimate with Yang Hongwu. If he didn't kill him, would he still have the face to live in this world? Kill, kill, kill. He must kill him. Great halberd breaking space. He waved the great halberd in his hand again. Overbearing spiritual power condensed into a great halberd that seemed to be able to destroy the void and destroy everything. The power contained in the great halberd had reached the pinnacle. Nothing could stop it. Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes. The life's great seal on his body spun, surrounded by countless thoughts. These were the thoughts of all living beings. Stubborn. Then I'll send you to your death. Life's thought. Yang Hongwu shouted. The life's thought turned into a long sword. This long sword slashed out. One sword slashed the heaven and earth. One sword slaying gods and demons. Life's thought turned into a sword slashing the heaven and earth, killing gods and demons. This was a powerful secret technique that Yang Hongwu had comprehended from the life's great seal. This secret technique was so powerful that even an invincible great emperor couldn't resist it. This sword instantly destroyed Jin Wutao's halberd, cutting the golden halberd into two halves. However, the sword chi did not stop, nor did the sword force. It was vast and boundless, and it continued to slash towards Jin Wutao. How is this possible? He discovered that his halberd had been shattered, and that terrifying sword was still slashing towards him. He had no way of dodging it all. This sword had locked onto his aura and locked onto his soul. This sword seemed slow, but he had no way to dodge it. He could only watch as this terrifying sword slashed his body. Crack! With a crisp sound, the long sword cut into his body. A crack appeared on his body and blood flowed out. Even his soul was impacted by the terrifying sword will. He was seriously injured. One move, just one move, and he was severely injured. He didn't dare to believe that he was an invincible great emperor. Although his strength was suppressed in the ancient domain, his fighting prowess was still extraordinary. His body was the body of an invincible great emperor, and it contained a peerless sovereign technique. However, he was still injured. Moreover, it was a serious injury. His dermic powers were restricted. That terrifying sword chi seemed to have even frozen his physical dermic powers. It was very difficult for him to recover from his injuries. That was what frightened him. Terrible, too terrible. Puff. After a while, he spat out a mouthful of blood. His body was swaying. The scar on his body was so obvious. If his cultivation was weaker, If his cultivation realm wasn't that of an invincible great emperor, he would have fallen by now. A great sage late expert, who hadn't even reached the great emperor realm, had injured him to such an extent that he almost lost his life. Was this the person that Xianming fancied? His strength was so powerful, so terrifying, it was hard to imagine. However, Jin Wutao's eyes flashed with madness. This was a disgrace, a huge disgrace. Kill him. I must kill him. At this time, although Jin Wutao was afraid, he was completely crazy. He began to burn his qi and blood all of a sudden, erupting a terrifying power. His injuries were suppressed in an instant. His strength was still increasing, and he had reached the level of an invincible great emperor. However, it was all in vain. Although ancient domain and heavenly domain had started to fuse, they hadn't completely fused. If they hadn't started to fuse with his strength, he could have broken the rules of ancient domain. However, the rules of ancient domain and heavenly domain had started to fuse. The power of the rules of ancient domain had become stronger and more stable. Even an invincible great emperor couldn't break the shackles of the power of the rules. Puff! Under the suppression of the power of laws, he suffered a huge backlash and spat out another mouthful of blood. Haha, Jin Wutao, right? I told you that you're a piece of trash. Since you're not leaving, I'll kill you today. Having said that, Yang Hongwu once again condensed a terrifying thought. The life seal shone brightly, and a terrifying power erupted once again. Seeing the seal coming towards him, Jin Wutao's soul almost left his body. He quickly turned around and ran away. After a few breaths, he disappeared from his original spot. Zitian, who was hiding in the dark, squinted his eyes when he saw Yang Hongwu's strength. He was afraid of Yang Hongwu. He looked at Jin Wutao and cursed. What a piece of trash. He couldn't even find out Yang Hongwu's trump card. Zitian knew Yang Hongwu very well. Yang Hongwu wasn't injured at all. Although Jin Wutao was strong, he couldn't force Yang Hongwu to use his trump card. After Jin Wutao left, Zitian's figure also disappeared on the spot. When Yang Hongwu saw Jin Wutao's figure disappear and Zitian's departure, he heaved a sigh of relief and relaxed. Are you okay? Xianming hurriedly supported Yang Hongwu and asked with concern when he saw Yang Hongwu's pale face. I'm okay. I'm fine. I just used too much energy. I'll be fine after a short rest. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly in his heart. He was still too weak. If he was a little stronger, he would be able to use the one thought of the common people together with the seal of life to kill his opponent. Yang Hongwu was worried about Zitian. If that guy didn't leave and came to deal with him, he would be in big trouble. After all, Yang Hongwu's current situation made it difficult for him to use the one thought of life again. However, there was one thing that couldn't be denied. The one thought of life was really terrifying. It was much stronger and more powerful than the secret techniques that he had learned before. After about a day, Yang Hongwu recovered. Let's go back to the Tianyi Immortal Mansion, Yang Hongwu said to Xianming. Xianming nodded. On the way, Yang Hongwu asked Xianming about Ancient Domain. Did anything happen after Ancient Domain and Heavenly Domain started to merge? Earth Spirit Palace appeared, Xianming said. Earth Spirit Palace, soul-suppressing tablet? Yang Hongwu's face changed. Did Zitian occupy Earth Spirit Palace and seize the soul-suppressing tablet? Chapter 999. The historical truth of subversion. The soul-suppressing tablet has been taken away by Zitian. Xianming said. Zitian's strength has increased by leaps and bounds. If it wasn't for the fact that he has to deal with the experts of the heavenly domain realm, our Tianyi Immortal Mansion would have been finished. Xianming said worriedly. Yang Hongwu's face turned solemn. The soul-suppressing tablet had been taken away by Zitian. His strength had increased rapidly, but Zitian's strength had increased even faster. After obtaining the soul-suppressing tablet, once his body was taken out of the soul-suppressing tablet and merged with it, his strength would reach a terrifying level. At the very least, he would reach the level of an invincible great emperor. He could even break through to the Tai, true demon realm. In that case, his strength would become even more terrifying. At that time, no one would be able to suppress him. No one in the entire Jiotian city would be his match. Even an invincible great emperor wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Yang Hanwu was very clear about this. If it wasn't for this, Yang Hanwu wouldn't have been so anxious and wouldn't have taken the risk to enter the ancient desolate battlefield. He wouldn't have spent so much effort to snatch the apocalyptic Dharma lightning and the Life Great Seal. Now that the Life Great Seal and the apocalyptic Dharma lightning were in his hands, Yang Hanwu wasn't confident that he could deal with Zetian. However, there was still time. If he could break through to the Great Emperor realm in a short time, he might be able to kill Zetian. However, Yang Hanwu looked at Xianming. If he wanted to break through to the Great Emperor realm, he would need to dual cultivate with Xianming and by Iran and merge with the true demon incarnation. Only then would he be 100% confident. Not long after, the two of them arrived at the mountain gate of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. At this moment, the Tianyi Immortal Mansion had changed. Yang Hanwu frowned as the signboard of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion had changed. It had become the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. What's going on? Yang Hanwu had a bad feeling. Tengaku. Yang Hanwu saw Tengaku appear and stopped him. Yang Hanwu, you're back. That's great. Tengaku was overjoyed to see Yang Hanwu and Xianming. What's going on? Why did the signboard of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion change? Did something happen? Yang Hanwu discovered that not only had the name of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion changed, even a mountain protecting Grand Array of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion changed. Something must have happened. Moreover, looking at Tengaku's current situation, he knew that things were not going well. Tianyi Divine Dwellings. The experts of the Tianyi Divine Dwellings have arrived. Tengaku smiled bitterly. They control the entire Tianyi Immortal Abode. Now, even their leader has been stripped of his position. Were Tian Mei and the others. Yang Hongwu's expression changed. If something happened to Tian Mei and Tian Jinyun, these bastards would all die. Yang Hanwu had a good impression of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion, but did not mean that Yang Hanwu had any sense of belonging to the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. The Tianyi Immortal Mansion was the Tianyi Immortal Mansion, and the Tianyi Immortal Mansion was the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. Although the Tianyi Immortal Mansion and the Tianyi Immortal Mansion were of the same origin, they were not in the same small world. Tian Mei's life is not in danger, but what? Yang Hanwu frowned, and his expression darkened. She's been captured. What? Tian Mei has been captured? Who is it? Yang Hongwu's expression darkened. Guan Tiantao, the current owner of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. He's also an expert from the Qian domain. He's an invincible great emperor. Not only did he capture Tian Mei, but he also captured by Iran. He wants to use the two of them as cultivation vessels to break the shackles of the invincible great emperor and reach the Tai True God realm. Tengaku said, "It's all because I'm too weak to protect them." Hearing this, Yang Hongwu's face became even more gloomy. He didn't expect that not only Heavenly Charms was captured, but even by Iran was captured. This infuriated Yang Hongwu to the extreme. His anger was on the verge of erupting. At this moment, he was like a huge volcano that was about to erupt. Invincible Great Emperor? So what if he's an invincible Great Emperor? I'll definitely kill him. Yang Hongwu's eyes flashed coldly. He was still no match for the invincible Great Emperor. Previously, he was lucky enough to deal with Jin Wu Tao. But this time, Yang Hongwu couldn't care less. Yang Hanwu, don't be rash. Even though your strength has increased, you're still no match for the invincible Great Emperor. The invincible Great Emperor's strength is too terrifying. Even when the leader activated the formation of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion and used the trump card of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion, he still couldn't defeat the invincible Great Emperor. Instead, he was controlled by the invincible Great Emperor. You're no match for him. If you want to deal with him, you have to plan carefully. Tengaku said, "It's not like I haven't seen an invincible Great Emperor before. Before I came back, I defeated an invincible Great Emperor." Yang Hongwu said, "That one Tian Tao must die." Yang Hongwu, you're courting death. Do you know that? Tengaku said, "You're not strong enough now. You can't be rash. Moreover, Tian Mei and Bai Iran are still fine. They won't be in danger. Bai Iran is a disciple of the Bai family. She's a genius of the Bai family. The Bai family has the Azura god, Bai Qi. Even though his cultivation hasn't reached the invincible Great Emperor realm, his combat strength isn't any weaker than an invincible Great Emperor. Therefore, what we need to do now is to contact the Bai family and find a way to contact the Azure God. That's right. Xianming nodded. Yang Hongwu, I know Wan Tiantao. He's a terrifying genius in Tianyi Divine Mansion. Moreover, he has a powerful force behind him. If we act rashly, I'm afraid we'll suffer a great loss. Guan Tiantao isn't someone that Jin Wutao can compare with. Although Jin Wutao is an invincible great emperor like Guan Tiantao has a Tai true god behind him. He's a descendant of the Tai true god. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath and looked at Xianming. Are you kidding me? Guan Tiantao is a descendant of the Tai true god? Yes. You came from that world. You should know Guan Yu, right? Xianming said. Yes, I do. Yang Hongwu nodded. In fact, Guan Yu from that world is a clone of the Tai true god. He entered the untainted 3 realms to gain experience. He also wanted to obtain the origin of fate of the untainted 3 realms. However, he was thwarted and his clone died. That's why he didn't succeed, Xianming said. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but take a cold breath when he heard this. Mother of Asterisk Kerr, the secrets of this world almost overturned his thoughts. Guan Yu, the legendary Guan Yu, was just a clone. What about Liu Bu, Zhang Fei, and other historical figures? Chapter 1000. The Origin of Fate, the origin of fate of the untainted 3 realms? Yang Hongwu frowned. Is it really that attractive? Of course. Although the untainted 3 realms is not a powerful existence among the thousands of worlds, it is a very special existence. In fact, our father god Pangu is not the creator of the untainted 3 realms. The legend of Pangu creating the world is not completely true, Xianming said. Yang Hongwu was stunned by these secrets. Yang Hongwu had always thought that the untainted 3 realms was created by Pangu. However, Xianming told him that the untainted 3 realms was not real. Yang Hongwu did not understand. However, he now understood that the untainted 3 realms was very special. Although it was not a powerful plain world in the Great Thousand World, it was a very special world. Countless experts wanted to obtain the origin of fate of the untainted 3 realms. In fact, the origin of fate of the untainted 3 realms can help the experts of the Tai true god realm to break the shackles and reach a higher level. Xianming said, back then, great god Pangu entered the untainted 3 realms to reach the higher level of Tai true god. Then, the sorcerer tribe was formed because of Pangu's 12 drops of blood essence? Yang Hongwu asked. The sorcerer tribe was formed because of Pangu's 12 drops of blood essence. However, it was not entirely because of Pangu's 12 drops of blood essence. However, Pangu's 12 drops of blood essence made us stronger. We became the 12 ancestors of sorcerer and had the bloodline of the Pangu tribe. Xianming shook his head. Yang Hongwu thought for a while and said, I saw a person in the ancient abyss, Hutu. Sister Hutu? Xianming was overjoyed. You really saw Sister Hutu? Big Sister Hutu disappeared back then. None of us have seen her. We thought she was dead. Now that you've seen her, where is she now? Is she all right? Hutu and Xianming were the only 2 females among the 12 ancestors of sorcery. Therefore, they were the closest among the 12 ancestors of sorcery. She's doing very well. Right now, she's already a Grand Unity True God in the True God region. Yang Hongwu said, in fact, her original name was not Hutu, but Pan and I. Now, she is my woman. You're such a big pervert. Xianming was a little discontented. He rolled his eyes at Yang Hongwu. I didn't expect that Hutu Jiejie couldn't escape your evil claws. Yang Hongwu rolled his eyes and thought to himself, I was forced to do this. Of course, he couldn't say this out loud. You said that Sister Hutu's current name is Pan and I? She went to the True God region. That's great. I didn't expect that Sister Hutu had broken through to the Grand Unity True God realm. Unfortunately, our 10 brothers haven't recovered yet. They're still in a deep sleep. I don't know when they'll wake up. Xianming was a little sad when he thought of this. Let's not think about this now. The most important thing is how to save Tian Mei and the others. Yang Hongwu said, that's right. Tengaku, go and contact the Bai family. They should have a way to contact the Azura Bai Qi. Xianming said, all right. Tengaku nodded. He knew that although his strength was not bad, he was still far from being able to fight back against an Emperor Realm expert like Guan Tiantao. Then, all of you have to be careful. Don't be impulsive. Tengaku was worried that Yang Hongwu would be too impulsive. Hence, he reminded them, "Don't worry about this. I will keep an eye on him," Xian Ming said. "Then, I'm relieved. Yang Hongwu was their most important person now. If something happened to Yang Hongwu, it would be really troublesome. Hence, no matter what, they couldn't let Yang Hongwu be impulsive and let him get into trouble. Xian Ming, how about this? I'll sneak in and check it out." After Tengaku left, Yang Hongwu said to Xian Ming, "No, it's too dangerous. Now that the formation of the Tianyi Holy Mansion has changed drastically, it's very dangerous to enter it. You're too weak. Although you're strong, you have no chance of winning against Guan Tiantao. After all, this is the Tianyi Holy Mansion, and Guan Tiantao has mastered the great formation of the Tianyi Holy Mansion. Even two invincible great emperors might not be able to defeat him." Xian Ming shook his head. The protective formation of the Tianyi Holy Mansion was very powerful. In addition to Guan Tiantao's terrifying strength, no one could withstand the attack of the protective formation of the Tianyi Holy Mansion. Even Zi Tian couldn't do it. Zi Tian was very strong. She was able to plant the demon seed in Jin Wutao's body because Jin Wutao was too careless. That was why Zi Tian succeeded so easily. If it was Guan Tiantao, he wouldn't have been able to do it. It's okay. You know what I'm capable of. I'm also a powerful formation master. Moreover, I have restriction-breaking pills and formation-breaking pills. If I want to break the formation and restriction, no one will be able to discover me. Even if the opponent is an invincible great emperor, unless he has reached the Tai True God realm, he won't be able to discover me." Yang Hongwu was very confident. His concealment technique was extraordinary. If the opponent didn't look for him intentionally, they wouldn't be able to discover him. Moreover, Tian Mei and Bai Yiran were in danger now. He couldn't leave them alone. Although Tian Mei wasn't his woman, they had a close relationship. Bai Yiran was his benefactor, and she had the pure, sacred body. She was destined to be his woman. For Yang Hongwu, his women were his reverse scale. He would never allow anything to happen to them. You can't underestimate an invincible great emperor. Guan Tiantao is stronger than Jin Wutao. Moreover, you were able to defeat Jin Wutao because he was too careless. If Jin Wutao wasn't that careless, you wouldn't have been able to defeat him." Xian Ming said, "Your strength hasn't reached the great emperor realm. You don't understand how terrifying and great Emperor Realm expert is." Yang Hongwu smiled faintly when he heard this. It wasn't like he hadn't dealt with great Emperor Realm experts before. He had even killed some. Therefore, Yang Hongwu didn't care about an ordinary great Emperor Realm expert. Yang Hongwu was only a little wary of an invincible great Emperor Realm expert. If he couldn't even deal with an ordinary great Emperor Realm expert, he wouldn't be able to scheme against an invincible great Emperor Realm expert. I know this very well. However, nothing can happen to Tian Mei and Bai Yiran. Yang Hongwu's eyes were firm as he looked at Xian Ming. "You know what kind of person I am. All right, I'll go with you. We can take care of each other." Xian Ming looked at Yang Hongwu's expression and knew that he couldn't stop him. Chapter 1001. Goodbye to the two ladies. No. Yang Hongwu shook his head and said, "It's fine if I'm alone. If you go with me, you'll be exposed. After all, you're an ancestral sorcerer. Your aura is too strong and difficult to conceal. I'm different. I'm only a great saint. Guan Tiantao won't care even if there's a gap between us." For an invincible great Emperor Realm expert, a mere great saint realm expert was nothing in his eyes. He was like an ant that he would not care about at all. However, it would be different if Xian Ming went. He was a great emperor expert. Moreover, Xian Ming's cultivation had recovered a lot. He wasn't afraid of facing a late great emperor expert. It would be strange if Guan Tiantao didn't notice such an expert entering the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. However, it's too dangerous for you to go alone. Xian Ming was still worried. Although I'm only a great saint, you know how strong I am. Yang Hongwu looked at Xian Ming and said. Knowing that he couldn't persuade Yang Hongwu, Xian Ming said, "All right. However, you have to be careful. If I don't hear from you after 6 hours, I'll break in and look for you. Don't worry, It won't take 6 hours. After Yang Hongwu finished speaking, he disappeared in a flash. Although the Tianyi Immortal Mansion had changed the mountain protection formation, it had no effect on Yang Hongwu. It was as if he had entered an uninhabited land. After a dozen breaths, Yang Hongwu appeared in the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. The Tianyi Immortal Mansion had changed its appearance. The Tianyi main peak, where the leader of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion lived, had become magnificent. A huge palace stood on the peak of the mountain. Auspicious clouds floated around, and countless celestial birds and beasts could be seen. The entire place was like a fairyland, causing people to involuntarily indulge in it, giving people a very shocked expression. Yang Hongwu thought to himself, "Are all the fellows from the Heaven Domain like this?" Jin Wutao was like this. Now, Guan Tiantao was like this. Yang Hongwu activated the aura concealment technique. With the help of the talisman, no one could discover him after entering the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. Guan Tiantao was probably the only person in the Tianyi Immortal Mansion who could sense his aura. After approaching the palace, Yang Hongwu felt by Yiran and Tian Mei's aura. By Yiran's aura, pure Yin Saint body was pure Yin Saint body. Yang Hongwu had the Nine Dragon Saint body, was pure Yin Saint body, and Yang Hongwu had Saint Nine Dragon Saint body. Yang Hongwu. As for Tian Mei, Yang Hongwu was also familiar with her aura. Back then, Tian Mei had left a secret technique on him. Of course, he could follow the aura of a secret technique and track Tian Mei's aura. At this moment, the two of them were locked up in a place. Was Tianyi Immortal Mountain. Looking at the huge palace, Yang Hongwu felt a strong aura. This aura was stronger than anyone Yang Hongwu had ever seen. It was even stronger than Jin Wutao's aura. Yang Hongwu knew that this aura was Guan Tiantao's. Only he had such terrifying strength. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. This guy's strength was stronger than Jin Wutao's. He couldn't afford to be careless. His strongest secret technique was the Life Grand Seal. Although it was powerful, it would be a problem for him to escape if he couldn't kill his opponent in one strike. The Tianyi Immortal Mansion was controlled by that bastard. Moreover, he had a lot of enemies in the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. Due to various reasons, Yang Hongwu had offended a lot of people. Most of them had pledged allegiance to Jin Wutao. If they had the chance, how could they let him go? Therefore, Yang Hongwu had to be careful. He didn't dare to be careless. Yang Hongwu wouldn't make a move before he had absolute confidence. Inside the palace, in a courtyard, they are Tian Mei and Bai Yiran. "He's here," said Tian Mei. "You can feel it." Bai Yiran looked at Tian Mei. "He's too weak and impulsive. Guan Tiantao isn't someone he can deal with. I don't want him to take risks." "No, he's very strong." Tian Mei smiled. "We have to believe in him. Moreover, if he can dual cultivate with you and Xian Ming, his strength will reach an unimaginable level. Then, it won't be impossible for him to deal with Guan Tiantao." "You're thinking too much. Guan Tianao has already reached the peak of the invincible Great Emperor realm. Even my ancestor, the Killing God, might not be able to defeat him." Bai Yiran said. "No, Guan Tiantao has the strength of an invincible Great Emperor, but that's only in the heavenly region. This is the ancient region. His strength is suppressed. However, Yang Hongwu is different. He can use his full strength. Moreover, he has the Wuji space and the Sorcerer world. If he can combine these two worlds and use the power of the worlds, he'll have a chance to win." Tian Mei said. "Moreover, his body is very special. It's a legendary body with unlimited potential. If he can activate the terrifying power in his body, not to mention a mere invincible Great Emperor, he can even suppress a Tai True God." Bai Yiran's eyes flashed. She said, "Although his body is special and there's a terrifying power sealed in his body, that seal can't be broken even by Tai True God. Unless he breaks through to the Tai True God realm, he won't be able to break the seal." "That's true." Tian Mei sighed. Although she knew that there was a terrifying power sealed in Yang Hongwu's body, there was no way to break the seal. No one could do it. Only Yang Hongwu could break it. Moreover, if Yang Hongwu wanted to break it, his cultivation would have to be at least at the Tai True God realm. If Yang Hongwu heard the conversation between the two women, he would definitely be stunned. He didn't know that there was a powerful power sealed in his body, but the two women knew it clearly. Needless to say, Heavenly Charms had lived for countless years and was a great Emperor realm expert. However, Bai Ran was different. Although Bai Ran's strength had reached the peak of the Great Sage realm, she was still one step away from the Great Emperor realm. Moreover, her cultivation time, her age, and her knowledge were far inferior to Heavenly Charms. Moreover, Yang Hongwu's biggest enemy now isn't Guan Tiantao but Zitian. The two women smiled bitterly. Guan Tiantao was hard enough to deal with. Zitian was even more troublesome. Chapter 1002. Common People's Protection. I've already contacted him. He's already in the lower worlds. If nothing goes wrong, he'll be here soon, said Bai Ran. Bai Ran was the most talented genius in the Bai clan. She had the highest chance of becoming an invincible great emperor. Therefore, she had a high status in the Bai clan. Of course, her younger sister, Bai Rui, was also very talented. However, she was much weaker than Bai Ran. Because of this, Bai Rui had always wanted to scheme against Bai Ran. She wanted to devour her battle constitution and bloodline. That way, Bai Rui's talent and battle constitution would be greatly improved. Her physique would be greatly improved. However, Bai Ran already knew what her younger sister was thinking. Moreover, she was much stronger than Bai Rui. Moreover, she was very clever. She didn't give Bai Rui any chance to scheme against her. However, she didn't expect Bai Rui to collude with outsiders. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been reduced to such a state. Boom! There was a loud explosion. A monstrous aura shrouded the entire Tianyi Immortal Mansion. An expert tore the space apart and appeared. He was emitting a terrifying, murderous aura. Guan Tiantao, get out here. That person was none other than the god of slaughter, Bai Qi. His terrifying, murderous aura condensed into monstrous Azura gods and demons. Bai Qi had proven his Tao through killing. Nobody knew how many experts he had killed. He had stepped on mountains of corpses and seas of bones to reach his current cultivation level. He had earned the name of the god of slaughter. Even a trace of his murderous aura could kill a great saint expert. It was enough to show how terrifying his murderous aura was. As for the 10-direction killing fist that he created, it was even more terrifying. When the 10-direction killing fist was used by him, no one within 10 directions would be able to survive. Once he used it, he was invincible. It showed how terrifying and powerful the god of slaughter was. At this moment, Guan Tiantao, who was cultivating in seclusion, was shocked. Even though he knew that Bai Ran was a member of the Bai family, a descendant of the godly slaughtering Bai Qi, he did not expect that the godly slaughtering Bai Qi would come. Furthermore, he did not expect that the godly slaughtering Bai Qi would come so quickly. Bai Ran was merely a great saint realm cultivator. He wasn't even a great emperor yet. Although he had a special physique, he shouldn't be regarded as important by the Azura god in the lower realm. It was impossible for him to offend an invincible great emperor for a great saint realm cultivator. However, he was truly surprised. The killing god Bai Qi had actually come. Furthermore, he had come so quickly. However, Guan Tiantao was not afraid. After all, he was an invincible emperor realm expert. The Azura Bai Qi was not even an invincible emperor realm expert. However, Bai Qi's combat strength was indeed terrifying. Although he was not an invincible emperor realm expert, he could fight against an invincible emperor realm expert. If they really fought, the outcome would be hard to predict. However, he was unwilling to give up on Bai Ran. Bai Ran and Heavenly Charms were his most important human cauldrons. They were his hope of breaking through to the primordial unity, true God stage. How could he give them up so easily? In a flash, he disappeared from where he was and reappeared outside the Tianyi Immortal Palace. Guan Tiantao, you're finally out. Hurry up and release Bai Ran. Bai Qi looked at Guan Tiantao angrily and said, Bai Ran is a member of my Bai family. She's the hope of my Bai family. If you dare to touch her, you're provoking my Bai family. If you don't want to die under my 10-direction killing fist, you'd better let her go. Bai Qi, you're too presumptuous. You're not an invincible Emperor Realm expert. Do you believe that I won't kill you? Guan Tiantao heard Bai Qi's words. He didn't put him in his eyes at all. He was an invincible Emperor Realm expert. Bai Qi wasn't even an invincible Emperor Realm expert. What right did he have to be so arrogant? So what if I'm not an invincible Emperor Realm expert? When have I, by Chi, been afraid of anyone? It's not like I haven't killed an invincible Emperor Realm expert before. Bai Chi said coldly. Terrifying killing intent condensed around his body, forming numerous terrifying demonic gods. These demonic gods had terrifying auras, as if they came from the immemorial land of gods and demons. Guan Tiantao's face darkened. This guy really didn't give him any face. If he didn't teach him a lesson, he would really think that he was invincible. You're courting death. I'll show you how strong an invincible Emperor Realm expert is. As he spoke, Guan Tiantao's aura exploded. It was like a huge wave, like a tsunami. It surged towards Bai Chi fiercely. A long saber appeared in Guan Tiantao's hand. With a wave of his saber, a saber light broke through the sky. It was like a moon. It was beautiful, but it was filled with terrifying killing intent. The void was about to be torn apart by this terrifying moonlight. 10 direction killing fist, 10 direction destruction. Bai Chi snorted coldly. He didn't put this in his eyes. Terrifying Azura killing gods appeared around him. His fist energy seemed to have turned into murderous weapons. The killing intent condensed into a terrifying killing spear. Heaven and earth changed color. Waves of ghostly cries and godly howls could be heard. Under such a terrifying killing fist, heaven and earth wept. They couldn't resist such terrifying killing intent. Boom! The killing fist and the saber light collided, creating a terrifying shockwave. The void was pierced through. The battle between the two experts was terrifying. The heaven and earth were torn apart. The surroundings were destroyed by the terrifying power. Yang Hongwu felt the change in the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. He was overjoyed. This was a good opportunity. He didn't expect Azura Bai Chi to arrive so quickly. With him holding Guan Tiantao back, he could save them easily. Yang Hongwu activated a secret technique. In a few breaths' time, he appeared in the palace where Bai Yiran and Tian Mei were. Although this palace was sealed by Guan Tiantao's supreme seal, it couldn't withstand a single blow from Yang Hongwu. Entering this place was like entering an empty space. Yang Hongwu, it's really you. It's me. Yang Hongwu nodded. Are you guys okay? We're fine. Why are you here? Don't you know it's dangerous here? Bai Yiran frowned and said, It's okay. Senior Bai Chi is holding Guan Tiantao back. I'm here to save you guys. Yang Hongwu said, Not good. Guan Tiantao's clone is here. Suddenly, a figure appeared. A terrifying killing intent exploded. A saber light slashed towards Yang Hongwu's back. Be careful. Bai Yiran's face changed and shouted. Bai Yiran and Tian Mei didn't expect Guan Tianao to have such a move. Although it was just a clone, Guan Tiantao's strength was terrifying. He was an invincible great emperor. Moreover, he was one of the top experts among the invincible great emperors. He could break through to the Tai true god realm. Although it was just a clone, the strength he could unleash was equivalent to 80% of his strength. How could Yang Hongwu block such a sneak attack? Life protection, Yang Hongwu shouted. A huge seal appeared above his head, forming a defensive circle that protected Yang Hongwu. Chapter 1003. Cultivation Breakthrough Boom. With a muffled sound, the attack landed on the Guardian of Life and exploded with a powerful rebounding force. This powerful rebounding force actually sent Guan Tiantao's doppelganger flying. Tian Mei and Bai Yiran were stunned by this scene. It was too powerful. They wondered how powerful Yang Hongwu's cultivation was now. Guan Tiantao was an invincible great Emperor Realm expert. Even though he was only using 80% of his strength, his attack was still terrifying. An ordinary great Emperor Realm expert would not be able to withstand it. Moreover, it was a sneak attack, but Yang Hongwu managed to block it and even sent him flying, causing a strong rebounding force. You're courting death. Yang Hongwu could tell that this guy was just a clone. The previous attack had consumed a lot of his energy. If he could devour this guy, his strength would increase tremendously. After all, he was an invincible great Emperor Realm expert. Lifeguard. A cold light flashed in Yang Hongwu's eyes. The lifeguard shone brightly once again. Yang Hongwu waved his right hand, and a terrifying energy shot out from the lifeguard. In the next moment, it struck Guan Tiantao's clone. Guan Tiantao was an invincible great Emperor Realm expert after all. His fighting strength was terrifying. Even though it was just a clone, his battle experience and strength were terrifying. However, he had no way of dodging Yang Hongwu's terrifying attack. Life's was a powerful attack unleashed by the Life's Grand Seal. It was a secret art that surpassed Emperor laws. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to comprehend it. Although Guan Tiantao was an invincible great emperor, how could he understand the power of the Life's Grand Seal? Two powerful forces collided with each other, and Guan Tiantao was instantly sent flying by this force. His body became slightly illusory. It was obvious that this attack had caused him great damage. What treasure is that? Guan Tiantao's eyes flashed with greed when he saw the power of the lifeguard displayed by Yang Hongwu. Dragon's soul devour the heavens. Yang Hongwu's eyes shot out a ray of light. A huge golden dragon soul appeared. The dragon soul devour the heavens was Yang Hongwu's secret technique. It was extremely powerful and could devour divine souls. Although Guan Tiantao was an invincible great emperor realm expert, this incarnation was just a divine soul. He was also a spiritual body, but under the dragon soul's heaven-devouring secret technique, he had no way of escaping. The golden dragon soul opened its mouth and swallowed Guan Tiantao whole. In a few breaths, he turned into pure energy and was dissolved by Yang Hongwu. Then, Yang Hongwu shuddered. There was a huge change in his aura. His cultivation base had increased. He had truly broken through from the 7th level Great Saint stage to the 8th level Great Saint stage. Originally, Yang Hongwu's cultivation base had increased by leaps and bounds after dual cultivating with Pan and I. He had reached the 7th level Great Saint stage and was only a fine line away from the 8th level Great Saint stage. Now that he had devoured Guan Tiantao's divine soul, Yang Hongwu's cultivation base had finally undergone a huge change. He had broken through the shackles of the 8th level Great Saint stage. His combat strength had also increased tremendously. This scene stunned by Iran and Tian Mei, especially by Iran. She did not know that Yang Hongwu was so powerful. But this time, she discovered that Yang Hongwu could actually unleash such godly might. Previously, Iran had heard from Tian Mei that Yang Hongwu was extremely strong and his combat strength was shocking, enough to fight against Emperor Realm experts. She didn't believe it, but now that she saw Yang Hongwu's strength, she truly believed it. She remembered the first time she saw Yang Hongwu. It was in the ancient desolate continent. His strength was so weak that he was like an ant in front of her. She could easily crush him. However, she did not expect that only a short period of time had passed. His cultivation base had increased to such a level that it was comparable to hers. It would not be long before he caught up with her. Moreover, his combat strength was especially terrifying. She was a genius, and no one in the same generation was her match. However, after seeing Yang Hongwu's current cultivation base and combat strength, Iran had a strange feeling. You broke through? Yes. Yang Hongwu nodded when he saw the shock in the two girls' eyes. It's all thanks to Guan Tiantao's doppelganger. What a powerful secret technique. This is not the place or time to talk. Let's leave this place first. Yang Hongwu said, No, our cultivation base has been sealed. There's no way we can leave this place. Moreover, the seal here is very powerful. It restricts our movements. Once we leave this courtyard, we will suffer a fate worse than death. Iran said, Don't worry about the seal. I can deal with it. Yang Hongwu did not care about it. It was just a simple seal. It was nothing. It's not an ordinary seal or secret technique. He has placed a secret seal in our bodies. There's no way to break it, unless it's an invincible great emperor. In other words, only Azura Senior by Qi can do it. Your strength is not enough. Iran shook her head. That's right. We can only wait for Senior by Qi to defeat Guan Tiantao. Tian Mei said. Tian Mei and Iran were confident in the battle between Azura God by Qi and Guan Tiantao. Although Azura God by Qi's cultivation base had not reached the level of an invincible great emperor, his battle strength was very terrifying. If it was in the heaven domain, the outcome of the battle between Azura God by Qi and Guan Tiantao would be uncertain. In fact, Bai Qi had a higher chance of losing. However, this was the ancient domain. Although it had begun to merge with the heaven domain, there were still restrictions. Guan Tiantao could not display his full strength. In other words, his cultivation base was suppressed. Bai Qi was also suppressed. In that case, Bai Qi and Guan Tiantao's strength would be at the same level. However, Bai Qi and Guan Tiantao were different. Guan Tiantao was born in the heaven domain and had a very good foundation. Bai Qi, on the other hand, had rushed up from the lower world. His battle strength and various experiences were not something that Guan Tiantao could compare with. Azura God Bai Qi had killed countless people. He had stepped on mountains of corpses and seas of bones to grow up. The cultivation techniques and martial skills that he cultivated were all created by him. The Azura God Bai Qi's strength was many times stronger than others. Compared to Bai Qi, Guan Tiantao was different. The secret technique that he cultivated was an inherited secret technique. It was not something that he created himself. Chapter 1004. Bai Qi's breakthrough. Guan Tiantao was in a miserable state because of Bai Qi's strength. Although his cultivation was higher than Bai Qi's, he was still suppressed by Bai Qi. Guan Tiantao felt extremely frustrated. What was worse was that at the most critical moment, Yang Hongwu had devoured a trace of his spirit. Although it was only a trace of his spirit, the damage caused to him wasn't too great. If it was under normal circumstances, it wouldn't be a big deal. After cultivating for some time, he could still recover. However, he was in the middle of a battle. At the most crucial moment, he was devoured by Bai Qi. His body was affected and his moves were flawed. What sort of character was the killing god Bai Qi? How rich was his battle experience? Even the slightest flaw would be caught by him. His 10 directions killing fist had already been practiced to the point of perfection. This is my chance. Go to hell. Bai Qi roared and unleashed a powerful killing intent. He threw out a punch. It was as if a weapon had turned into a spear of death and struck Guan Tiantao's body. Not good. Guan Tiantao's face fell. However, it was too late. The punch had severely injured him. His body was sent flying. He was severely injured. Knowing that he was no match for Bai Qi, he wanted to run away. However, Bai Qi was not someone who would let him run away. He immediately chased after him and suppressed him. There was no way for him to escape. Damn it, Bai Qi. You win this time. I don't want those 2 women anymore. He knew that he had lost this time. No matter what, he had to save his life first. Senior Bai Qi, don't let him go. Yang Hongwu appeared with Bai Yiran and Tianmei. The seals in their bodies were removed by Yang Hongwu. Impossible. How could the 2 of you be here? Guan Tiantao looked as if he had seen a ghost when he saw the 2 women. He could not believe it. He had planted seals in the 2 women's bodies. Only invincible great emperors could remove them. In other words, they had to be at least as strong as Bai Qi. However, other than Bai Qi, there were no other experts here. If someone had broken into the Qiani immortal mansion, he would have been able to sense it. Could a grand unity, true God realm expert have appeared? He was very confident in his formation and prohibition. Only an expert in the realm of Tai real God would be able to enter without alerting him and break the prohibition that he had set up so easily. Nothing is impossible. Guan Tiantao, today is the day you die. Yang Hongwu's eyes flashed coldly as he stared at Guan Tiantao. Guan Tiantao was injured now, and with Bai Qi by his side, it was absolutely possible for Yang Hongwu to kill him. If he could kill him, devour his source, and seize his battle spirit bloodline, his strength should be able to break through another level, and it would not be impossible for him to enter the 9th Order Great Saint realm. Feeling Yang Hongwu's killing intent, Guan Tiantao's face darkened, and he said coldly, "You want to kill me? A mere ant of the Great Sage realm actually wants to kill me? Ant?" Yang Hongwu laughed when he heard it. "I'll let you see who's the ant here." After saying that, Yang Hongwu's aura rose crazily. 9th Order Great Saint Realm, Peak Great Saint Realm, Half-Step Great Emperor Realm. Yang Hongwu's cultivation rose crazily, one level after another. In an instant, Yang Hongwu's cultivation broke through to the Great Emperor Realm. It was the mid-Great Emperor Realm, and it was the late Great Emperor Realm. This terrifying aura gradually stopped. What kind of secret technique is this? Seeing Yang Hongwu's cultivation rising crazily, even Bai Qi was shocked. What kind of secret technique did an 8th Order Great Saint Realm expert use to raise his cultivation to the mid-Great Emperor realm? Whether it was a secret technique or a pill, it was too heaven-defying. If he could obtain such a secret technique, he could break through to the Grand Unity True God realm in a short time. A Grand Unity True God realm expert was not something an invincible Great Emperor realm expert could compare to. A Grand Unity True God realm expert could kill an invincible Great Emperor in a breath. This showed how terrifying a Grand Unity True God realm expert was. However, this thought had only just appeared in Bai Qi's mind when he immediately extinguished it. His mind was clear, and his state of mind had improved again. At this moment, Bai Qi's aura arose again. He had broken the shackles. He had broken through his bottleneck and entered the invincible Great Emperor realm. The powerful aura made people not dare to look at him directly. The terrifying killing intent condensed into a pair of black gloves. The pair of black gloves seemed to be the laws of heaven and earth, surrounded by the terrifying death laws. The gauntlets landed on Bai Qi's hands. The aura of the Azura demon gods around him became even more terrifying and horrifying. I've broken through. I've finally broken through. Is this the power of an invincible Great Emperor? Bai Qi looked at Guan Tiantao as if he was looking at a dead man. Before he had broken through, his battle strength could suppress Guan Tiantao. Now that he had broken through, he could kill Guan Tiantao. How could this be? How could this be? If it was Yang Hongwu, Guan Tiantao would not be afraid. However, Bai Qi had broken through. He had entered the invincible Great Emperor realm from the peak Great Emperor realm. This made Guan Tiantao terrified. Before Bai Qi had broken through, his strength was already so terrifying. Now that he had broken through, how could Guan Tiantao be a match for him? Senior, congratulations on your breakthrough. Yang Hongwu was surprised to see Bai Qi break through. Bai Qi could be said to be one of them. Moreover, he came from the Great Desolation 3 realms. He could be said to be from the same hometown and was also a benefactor. After all, Guan Tiantao had cultivated Bai Qi's 10-direction killing fist and received his inheritance. He could also say that he was Bai Qi's disciple. Yang Hongwu was genuinely happy about Bai Qi's breakthrough. I have to thank you for this. Little brother, don't call me senior. If you don't mind, just call me Brother Bai. I heard from Kong Sheng that you came from Earth, the Great Desolation 3 realms. We're from the same hometown. Bai Qi smiled. You've used a secret technique. You should withdraw it. I'll take care of him. Then I'll have to trouble you, senior. Originally, Yang Hongwu wanted to use his trump card to kill Guan Tiantao. However, now that Bai Qi had broken through, he was confident. There was no need to waste his trump card. After all, it would be best if he didn't have to use his trump card. Chapter 1005. Curse of Death. Humph. Now that I've made a breakthrough, no one below Tai True God is my match. So what if your family is strong? I'm not afraid. Bai Qi snorted coldly. A Tai True God was indeed powerful. However, a Tai True God could not casually descend upon Jiutian Shidi. Only a clone could descend upon Jiutian Shidi. Moreover, it would cost a great price. At the same time, one's cultivation would be suppressed. Guan Tiantao's expression changed. He didn't want to die. Bai Qi, it's my fault this time. I can compensate you. Guan Tiantao hated Bai Qi to the bone. However, he didn't dare to say anything. After all, he didn't want to die. Now, he could only hope to escape this calamity. In the future, when Heavenly Region and Ancient Region completely merged, he could deal with this bastard Bai Qi. Senior Bai, we can't let this bastard live. Yang Hongwu looked at Bai Qi and said, Okay. Bai Qi nodded and instantly moved. However, at this moment, Guan Tiantao's body flashed, and he instantly appeared beside Yang Hongwu. His big hand grabbed towards Yang Hongwu. Bai Qi knew that it was too late to save him. He knew that Guan Tiantao didn't want to kill Yang Hongwu, but he could capture Yang Hongwu to threaten him. You want to capture me? Dream on. Yang Hongwu felt Guan Tiantao's movement the moment he moved, and he fiercely threw out a punch. He also used the 10-direction killing fist. Although the power of this punch wasn't as strong as Bai Chi's, it was still quite strong. Guan Tianhao was caught off guard, and Yang Hongwu's punch landed on his chest. Guan Tianhao, who was already injured, felt as if he was struck by lightning. Moreover, Yang Hongwu's attack didn't only stop there, it also contained a soul attack. It was a perfect combination with the yin-yang soul-locking spell. Guan Tianhao suddenly let out a miserable scream, incomparably mournful. He didn't expect Yang Hongwu to be so powerful. Moreover, he knew how to use soul attacks. Although he was an invincible Great Emperor Realm expert, and his soul was very powerful, he couldn't withstand the attacks at all under the suppression of a universal law and his injuries. Once again, he was severely injured. In his eyes, the sheep was simply an evil wolf. It was actually so ferocious and terrifying. Good fellow. Seeing Yang Hongwu's ferocious attack, Bai Chi couldn't help but cheer. Yang Hongwu's comprehension of the 10-direction killing fist had exceeded his expectations. No one understood the 10-direction killing fist better than him. After all, it was a fist technique that he had created. When Yang Hongwu used it, although it was not as domineering as his, it had a different understanding. Die. After injuring Guan Tianhao, Yang Hongwu did not hesitate to launch another attack. This time, he directly used a powerful offensive secret technique. Immortal Cloud Strike. Yang Hongwu used an extremely powerful Immortal Cloud Strike that condensed the power of the mysterious dragon's 9 transformations. Now, Yang Hongwu had already cultivated to the 7th transformation of the mysterious dragon's 9 transformations, which was 49 times the power. It was extremely ferocious. The power of the Immortal Cloud Strike was so strong. Coupled with the power of the mysterious dragon's 9 transformations, the attack power that erupted was terrifying. It was almost equivalent to the full strength attack of a late Great Emperor Realm expert. Seeing this attack, Bai Chi was even more shocked. A late Great Saint Realm expert could actually erupt with such ferocious power that was comparable to the full strength attack of a late Great Emperor Realm expert. Such combat strength was too terrifying and ferocious. Monstrous, genius. Although Bai Chi was conceited about being a genius, compared to Yang Hongwu, the difference was huge. At least, when he was Yang Hongwu's age, he definitely didn't have such a powerful cultivation base like Yang Hongwu. He also didn't have such a powerful combat strength that could match a late Great Emperor Realm expert, and even kill him. It was really unexpected. When he saw Bai Ran, he thought about how Yang Hongwu risked his life to save him. He knew that this junior of his had a good relationship with Yang Hongwu. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but curl his lips into a smile. It would be great if this fellow from the same hometown could become a member of the Bai family. Then, the Bai family would have another powerful ally. No matter what, they were family. If they had such a powerful enemy, he would not be able to eat or sleep in peace. After all, Yang Hongwu's potential was too terrifying. If he could break through to the Great Emperor Realm, he would be comparable to an invincible Great Emperor. Once he had another breakthrough, he would be truly invincible under the Tai True God Realm. Everyone would be jealous of such a powerful genius. Bai Chi was no exception. I curse you. I curse you to die a horrible death. You will go to hell with me. Haha. After his divine soul was shattered by Yang Hongwu's punch, Guan Tianhao cursed. The curse turned into a ray of black light and shot towards Yang Hongwu and Bai Chi. Bai Chi's face changed. He threw out another punch. His fist turned into a spear of death and bombarded the ray of black light. It instantly shattered the ray of black light. Even so, Bai Chi's body swayed and his aura weakened. However, Yang Hongwu was not so lucky. Although the Immortal Cloud attack, just now, was extremely powerful, it had consumed a lot of his energy. He was so close to Guan Tianhao that he couldn't dodge it. The ray of black light instantly entered Yang Hongwu's forehead and formed a curse mark. Yang Hongwu felt that a shackle had appeared on his soul. Damn it! Yang Hongwu had cultivated the yin-yang soul lock curse and had helped the people of the Ling clan check the curse. Of course, he knew the mark of the curse very well. He was now under Guan Tiantao's death curse. The curse didn't affect his cultivation or cultivation base. However, It could be fatal at critical moments. The curse would reveal his location at all times. If a great Emperor realm expert made a divination, he would have nowhere to hide. Furthermore, as long as someone related to Guan Tiantao's bloodline got close to him, they would be able to sense it. Yang Hongwu was furious. He knew that Guan Tiantao had a strong backer. He had a Tai true god expert. If a Tai true god expert came to avenge him, it would be troublesome. Back in the ancient Desolation continent, when Yang Hongwu was exploring the soul-mourning martial monarch's secret realm, he was almost killed by the hand of a martial monarch realm expert. If it weren't for the soul-mourning martial monarch, he would be dead by now. Therefore, Yang Hongwu was wary of some experts who could break through space and kill people from a distance. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.